So what's the deal, Aaron?
Oh, man, anything.
Have the Russians seized your laptop yet?
The Russians, no, but the electrical tape that covers my little camera on my laptop fell off somehow. I noticed that today. I had a little mini panic attack.
Listen, dude, I don't want to hear anything on the news about dudes in black suits sliding down your
Black
drain pipe.
helicopters.
Black helicopters.
Santa Claus coming to town early.
Santa Claus coming. We're gonna get into it today. Hit the fucking music, Kyle. This is the Keepin a G-Real podcast. We're here live in the dining room. We have the Mississippi King here today, James. Say hi to everyone, James.
Who dat? Hello, everyone.
We have Aaron Sutherland here, my buddies from work.
Hey, Ron.
Ex-military guys. We got a return guest. Say
Yo,
hi,
what's
Kyle.
up, everybody? It's Kyle. Apparently they want me back. I don't know why, but still, I'm back.
Kyle was here on episode 2, which is probably our best
Exodius.
episode. Exodius, where we broke down video games. But we're going to be getting into it. We're going to be getting it in. We're going to be getting into it tonight,
We're
folks.
digging it.
All right, so you asked the script you gave me.
We got to give the little people some backstory.
Yeah.
Oh, man, some backstory.
Yeah.
So,
Backstory on who? What we got backstory on?
Aaron and James are two of my good friends. This is the first time they've ever been on the podcast. We've been trying to get this episode going for like weeks now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into the deep shits. We're gonna get going. We're gonna get into what's going on in the world. We're gonna be getting into we're gonna be getting out there into the briz.
In the debris.
All right, we're gonna be doing a political / conspiracy theory episode tonight. So all you people out there, you better hold on to your britches.
I don't think the people understand, too. This is a long time coming.
Oh, shit. It's getting deep.
Oh,
It's getting
God.
So yeah, we got a whole bunch of conspiracies written down, wrote down. We're gonna do a whole bunch of conspiracies. We're gonna talk about life. We're gonna talk about the world, what's going on out there, what we know, to the best of our knowledge, with our evidence and things like that. And we're gonna chop it up and bounce opinions off one another. And towards the end, we got some developing video game stuff we'll probably talk about because the fall is coming up, and there's a lot of big video games coming out. So we'll get into it. We'll talk about what everyone's expecting. Let's talk about what Aaron and James have been thinking about this fall. There's a lot of big games coming out. Sorry to all the people, the Xbox fans out there, because you can't play Spider-Man.
He's looking at me while everyone's just talking. He's looking at me because he knows I have an Xbox, and I'm being bullied.
You're not being bullied.
Well,
You
we
should
keep
just
telling you to
suck
get a
it up.
PlayStation, man.
Get a
We told you how many
PlayStation.
times.
All right, we're going to get right into this. Kyle,
All right.
take it away.
All right, so Evan made a huge list of conspiracy theories we're going to start off of.
Yeah, it's ridiculously long.
It is very long, and I'm actually quite surprised by myself. So we're just going to start on the first one. It will be the Illuminati. It's the New World Order, global lists. Guys, you have any?
Illuminati,
What do you think?
I don't specifically call it like the Illuminati. I know that they're. I mean, it's
he's got some
I wanna know-
expert terms.
Yeah, let's hear it.
okay. All right. So, I mean, you got to think throughout the different generations and for different there are different times that's been called different names. Now it's been called the Illuminati. Before it was called the Cabal. Before that, it was
called Ball. I'm done.
now
The
we have
deep-
now the deep state. That's
Yep.
Now it's the deep state. They're
I
all the
was
same
just
thing now,
watching a video
interconnected.
about this thing called Q. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've been following Q to literally the letter. I've read every single one of
Yeah,
it.
Aaron's like, oh, Q, what? Well, document 83, paragraph 14 on page 2, line 7.
I mean, all you gotta do is just type up any Q search. You don't even have to go search it online. You can go on YouTube and look up Q things, and everything will be broken down for you for Q.
Oh, yeah.
So what's Q?
I mean, currently the biggest theory about Q is that it's kind of crazy, but when the things start to connect together, it actually kind of blows my mind
So
of how people are
enlighten
picking
us.
this up. They currently think that JFK Jr. faked his death and is running underground as Q, working with President Trump and everybody else in his administration.
So what is Q, though? Is this like a website, or is it someone that's a place to pumping out information?
This is a
Trying to open up everyone's eyes.
And why? Why would he do that?
Well, okay, you got to think about it. Sorry, Kyle.
Man.
It's getting deep now.
I know what to say. I had something to say. All I had to say is it's a community of people who want the better of humanity
Yes.
and for the people, because right now there is a lot of corruption. There is a lot, because you got to think about this. Like Hillary Clinton, remember she had a private email in the White House when that was it's illegal, right, Aaron?
Yes, that is very illegal.
Okay.
But it started out with there was Q and there was R. R was what the ones they were believing was Kennedy Jr. R.
Argument, you'll be plundering your documents.
And then Q was the people, but now R is out of the picture, and they believe Kennedy is completely taken over the role of it. But the whole story behind the Kennedys, obviously everyone knows about the Kennedy assassination.
Yep.
The
You
organization.
were just talking about that earlier.
Okay.
We weren't even alive for that, and that just that whole thing reeks with so much shit. And
There's so many things.
Guys, we will get into it. It's on the list. Trust me.
Well, all right. So the Q thing. They think the reason why Kennedy is Q. All right. First of all, Kennedy
is cute.
Jr. and Trump were best friends before he passed. Kennedy Jr. was.
They cross streams.
They cross streams. Don't touch it. As long as you don't touch the tips.
Sword fight?
No sword fight. No crossing the tips.
It's only gay if you're not talking about fantasy football.
As long as you don't look each other in the eyes, it's not gay.
Just talk about manly things while you do it. It cancels out the gayness.
I don't know if it does do that though. That's just.
It depends on how manly
we're
it is.
We're digressing.
Yeah, we are digressing. So Q.
All right, so at the time, obviously, there's his father, his uncle, everyone that was trying to go against that organization from taking over, establishing the New World Order. This goes into the deep state kind of thing as well because it was that organization. He found out, well, at the time, he was saying that he wasn't going to run for any political office. But at the time, he started getting into it, and he was going to run for the Senate seat for New York. And Hillary Clinton was his competitor. The theory behind that what he's saying in cryptic messages is that he found out that they were going to try and kill him the way that they killed his uncle and his father, and on his way to
dirty shit.
The
man.
island, Martha's Vineyard. Isn't it the island? I don't even know.
What the fuck is
The
Martha's
Vatican?
Vineyard?
Martha's Vineyard was like a place that he went to on vacation, but there's a whole thing of
Oh, where
story
they take
now.
little kids?
No, not that one. That's
Oh.
completely separate.
Anyways. We'll get to that too.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But
wow.
there's a lot of evidence showing that everything about his plane crash and the events leading up to his plane crash, nothing adds up, and so everything's being investigated further about it. But they believe that he faked his death because he was finding out who actually killed his parents or who killed his father.
So this is like a whole Batman kind of thing, right?
It's kind of leading on a Batman story, but he was digging deep, and they started investigating him for digging, and then he found out what really transpired leading to his father's death, and at that point is when they were going to assassinate him. He set this whole thing up. His best friend is Trump, and one of the wealthiest people in the country, and the only person he can trust. So they've been planning this event up until now.
So him and Trump used to roll deep back in like
Yeah,
the
even though
20s.
Trump's like 12 years older than him, he's still like.
They're
Damn.
boys back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
Alright.
do you think he faked his death because he was scared for his life?
I feel like he faked his death because he knew his life was in jeopardy, and he wanted to fake his death so he can do further investigation on the organizations that were responsible.
The cabal.
The
and
cabal,
the,
or
and
the
the,
deep
the
state,
deep
or
state.
Illuminati, or whatever you call it.
Well, too, to keep his family name, right?
Yeah, to keep his
in the
family
government
name, yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's still Kennedys that connect to the family that are in there, but they're on the opposite side of the
They're
family.
not as high as him or his
Yes.
brother.
But as soon as his
It's
name
bouncing.
comes
But, like,
back, here's a crazy theory.
what is he?
He fakes his death. His best friend runs for office, and he comes out about his death. Faking your death is considered a felony. So he gets out, comes back, says that he faked his death. He's alive. The reason why I faked my death is all of this. Trump pardons him. As soon as he pardons, he runs for office. Because of his name, he gets elected into office. Now he is a true, old school leader like his father. The way his father was going to fix the country, he's going to do it. Trump is just the toy in this. He's not even the official person.
He's the puppet.
He's the puppet. Trump is a puppet through, in my opinion, and Q's opinion, through Kennedy.
So you mean tell me that the youngest Kennedy faked his own death,
Yeah.
came back?
I feel like he's already back. There's actually images going
And then
around.
he's being pardoned for faking his death.
I think he will. He might get pardoned once he does come out because it's
Side
technically a
note.
felony.
How hard is it actually to fake your death?
With the money and the power that
Even
you
if
have.
you got money,
Yeah.
can you really fake your death for real?
Dude,
It's-
there's people that fake their death that
nowadays.
aren't that wealthy and
Right.
they've gotten away with it, and then they were dumb and came back, and that's how they got caught.
Okay, but I don't think it would cost me that much to fake my death. But
Oh,
if you're a
what-
Kennedy, like,
If you're a Kennedy, everyone knows your face. Like people that like us that they're not going to really recognize us. We're not famous, so we can.
Oh, yeah.
it'd be
Oh,
easier
we're not
for
famous
us.
yet, okay?
They're not famous.
so
yet.
just depending on who you are, that's the price.
Right,
Like,
depending
on
it's
who
like
you
the
are.
NFL. Like if you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
good player,
being somebody as important as Kennedy and the Kennedy family.
Listen, it's just like a 20. I mean, if the money's good, you take the tie hole.
All right. So before we continue on with this, we're just gonna move it on, just because because we're gonna answer everything on here, or would you just want to bounce everywhere?
We'll just keep going.
Yeah,
Alright,
let's-
just
let's
'cause-
go on. Anything that we haven't covered yet, because we've covered like
There's, like-
4 or 5 things.
All right.
Because there's things I want to hit. Just go for
Yeah.
it.
So the next one is Obama not born in the USA.
That's
I have an
This is one of the ones I think's hilarious.
I
There's
personally-
so much. He recently admitted to not being born in the United States.
Seriously?
He literally
There you
did a
go.
speech and said he was from Kenya. He did a speech. It's recorded. It's out there. Look up the video.
You know what? Money was
On
good.
top of that, his birth certificate that he sent out to people was still in PDF editing form. It was still in layered format.
He's like,
So you
where's my bitch?
They never merged the editing layers. Like, so if you go and find the original PDF download, you can detach the layers and you can see what was edited and what
Wasn't
wasn't.
new.
so he.
After
I-
the shit, the Chinese are gonna fucking
It
hit
even
Aaron with
said-
a fucking sell fucking bomb.
Remember, he was one of the people who was he imposed the welfare thing, right? Well, he was for it. He made the Obama, what was it? It was healthcare.
Yeah.
The Obama healthcare. Obamacare.
Which is
Yeah.
He said that it was going to be free. You didn't have to pay anything for your own doctor. And what did he do? He forced people to get insurance and get health care. And if they
Word.
didn't do it, they were getting charged
Tax.
thousands of dollars.
Oh, hey, remember that one time where
it
they?
comes during the income tax season, so it's like the worst time.
Oh, you.
But if you think about it, I did the math and I thought about just rolling without it because I did the math one day after hearing what you got taxed. There was penalties, right? So say the first one was $200.
Yeah.
That's if you pay a tax penalty of $200. So if you make $1,000 back in your taxes and they take $200 as a penalty, that's still cheaper than having fucking $250 price tag on your insurance every month for insurance that doesn't do shit. So at the last second, I was like, if I have to choose between having Obamacare or having nothing, I'll pay the tax penalty and not pay almost $300 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was gonna do, but I got insurance through my job.
There was a time when my wife, wasn't covered for, I think it was like 3 months. And she got charged. It was $100 per month that she wasn't covered. It was like $300 and something dollars. It was over $300. But if you think about it, if you don't have insurance for a year, like $1,200.
Yeah, $1,200.
That's a good chunk of change for
What-
people that live in like
And what
where we
happened
sitting
is
in
it was
our
going
class.
up every year. So
Yeah.
I got hit with the charge once.
Yeah.
Because my job fucked up my insurance, and I was just like, whatever, I didn't deal with it.
I almost had to
And it
owe
was like-
$1,400.
It was like $300 the first time, but apparently it showed me a thing, Sensor showed me, where it shows me at this rate, based on how much you make, how much you'll get charged each year, and it goes up every time.
Yeah.
So if I wouldn't have gotten insurance, it would have taken $720, I think it was for me the next year if I wasn't insured for over 6
It
months.
was just a big clusterfuck. It was pretty much a way for him to get money off of it. Or the people that invested in it and the people that fought for it, they made money off of it.
see, the thing is, I remember when they made the website for it, and
It was a giant.
it
failure.
was just so bad. Like,
it crashed.
I had a
itself.
conversation with this with my friend, and I said, "Look, do they?
Did you
You know that? Oh, did I? Of course.
Name your friend.
He goes, of course.
Dude, name my friend. I don't want to put his name out there because I don't. You know.
It's probably Christian.
Probably.
Christian
Probably.
probably looked at you like, shut the fuck up.
Aaron, when's the last time you paid for insurance though? Like,
I haven't paid for insurance in so long.
Wow.
Well, because I'm automatically covered by the VA.
Shit. Whoop, whoop.
So I don't.
All right.
that's why I really don't have much to say about this subject because the Army, TRICARE, plug. Thank you for
Right.
taking care of me.
Well, I mean, I still pay for part of that because the VA was having so many issues getting me into the system. I had to go out and find independent insurance.
Oh yeah,
or
I remember
separate
that.
insurance.
It was the first semester we were actually
So
friends.
I joined my wife's insurance because she has her insurance to work.
Mhm.
So I went through her, and she only pays like I think like $30 or $40 on top of what she already pays for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's outrageous amount of money that I'm paying. Like some people are paying $800 for their insurance, which I don't get.
Oof.
A
But
month?
yeah,
Yeah, dude. Insurance can get expensive because you remember like life insurance.
Lindsay said her dad's is like really expensive or something crazy.
well,
like
life
that. Some
insurance
people
is
pay a
separate
lot.
from the health insurance.
Okay, that's yeah.
Like
You're
life
right.
insurance, like if you die, you don't want your family to have to pick up the $100,000 it's going to cost for your funeral. There's a coffin and
Oh,
all that shit.
dude.
That money,
Yo,
that money
that's
goes
where
up.
my daddy's leather sandals if I had one.
Yo,
The thing about life insurance is the older you get, the more expensive it becomes.
Yeah, that is true.
Or
Yo,
dissipates.
what I just thought about.
I used to work in that stuff.
See, that's when you just cash in that life
A lot of
insurance
them, what they
policy.
do
and
is-
then,
Yo, I thought about this
The way
today.
they get you the most is old people get roped right into buying health insurance policies that lose value over time, obviously, because as you get older,
Yeah.
there's a more likelihood that you're going to die.
Oh yeah.
And then when you're like 92 years old, your policy ain't worth dick, even though you're still paying on
right?
it.
Here's what I have to say about it is
You tell them.
I would totally, if I wasn't going to school in CC, I would totally go to mortician school because
That's what Sarah's doing.
the thing. Well, here's the thing. Like,
Sarah's not a mortician.
She wants to be a mortician after she gets out of theater.
mortician?
She
I
loves dead
fucking
bodies.
do.
We both love serial killers, and so we talk.
It's-
about
I was about to
it's
say,
like
Evan
nothing
loves
but
dead
dead
bodies.
yo, like,
Oh, yeah,
like,
dude. I said to Darcy, I go, when are we gonna get past all this math shit so we can talk about death?
Like, I mean, I wasn't even in any crazy combat, but I saw a crazy amount of dead bodies. Like, that's not something I enjoyed seeing.
James
well,
is
I
like,
mean,
oh,
there's a lot of
man,
different.
picked
I don't
off
want
a
to say
man
anything.
in
That's
Kuwait
on you.
8.2 miles.
I respect you for being in the army. Thank you, Aaron.
I was Air Force.
Air Force. Thank you.
James
still.
in the Army.
Thank you, James.
I was in
Thank
the
you for your
combat.
service,
Thank you for your
fellas.
service,
I was
guys.
in the combat
Thank you for
version of
your
the Air
service.
Force.
Thanks,
I, was,
guys. How
we just-
thoughtful.
I wasn't in that chair force.
You
I was
guys still got to take me shooting, but
But
all right. Say what you got to say, and then we'll go on to the next one.
yeah. But the thing is with that, I'd rather be a mortician because you gotta think of how much money they must make because it's like I remember when my friend's dad died, I asked him like, how much did it all cost you? Because we'd be homies for probably 10 years now, and he's like, it cost me around probably 40. It probably cost my family $40,000 with the casket,
God
the
damn.
place to do it.
I'd be like, just
He was a
burn me.
buried. They had to buy the plot, and they got a good tombstone. They got a really good tombstone, and they got the engravings. I mean, the engravings alone's
Like they have fucking diamond encrusted fucking
No.
edges.
Yo, just give me a Viking burial. Just
Word.
Push, push
I know.
me into the lake.
That's what Bob said. My mom said she wants to be like
Cremated.
and she's like, sprinkle me on the water somewhere. I'm like, all right, Mom.
Okay, how many years of school was that?
It's probably 4. I have no
It's probably a
idea.
master's degree.
It's probably.
Sarah,
It's a very
Lindsay would know.
competitive.
My lovely girlfriend would know.
What?
How many years you got to go to school? Do you think to be a mortician? Master's degree. You probably got to do a little bit of graduate school, right?
It can take 2 years to complete associate's degree in
Are you looking it up right now?
Monty.
She
You
just looked it up.
talk for a mortician.
2
Huh.
years
It only takes 2 years to be a mortician.
to complete
For an associate's,
For an
Really?
associates.
Well,
Bachelor's probably
how's
4.
the pay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's the salary looking like?
Average is 54,000.
It's not
That's
too
not too
bad.
bad.
It's like when I was
If
in
you really like doing
when I
what
was
you're
like
doing,
A1C.
listen.
that's what I
If
was
you
making.
really love doing what you're doing, you're making almost 60. That's not bad.
Yeah, and it's a 2-year degree, so
Right.
community college is
You're
not that
paying for
expensive.
dick.
Yeah.
What's next, Kyle?
Oh,
All right.
damn.
Next up, we have 9/11, Tower 7, the
Oh.
Pentagon.
Oh god,
Hey,
here
why are you
we
gonna bring
go.
up-
Here
these
we
are like
go.
some-
We're about to get everyone buckle your. No pun intended. Buckle your
Well,
seats.
okay,
for one.
this isn't a new topic. There's been people talking
Right,
about
but
this
dude,
for
this is the
over
first
a
time
decade
we've
now.
all
Probably
talked about it
years,
on the
man.
So
podcast.
there's
like a whole group
There's a
dedicated to
crazy
it.
amount of stuff out there about.
Listen,
people
all I want to
researching.
know is how the fuck do people not get up when they outnumber a handful of dudes and just fuck them up? I remember when it happened, and my grandfather at the time, my grandpa Dave, he was like fucking 60, and I got a sense from when I was younger that like I don't see him now. But I got a sense when I was younger that he was a tough dude, and I remember when I loved listening to the adults when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right, I really would sit around like I was telling my mother this the other day. I would sit around and just listen to my grandpa Dave and my older uncles and my brother and sister's dad and other men just chop it up and talk about shit I knew nothing about, politics, all these other things. I would sit around and watch dudes talk. None of this crazier when I heard them talking about, when I was younger, I heard them talking about 9/11, because we were like, what? I was in the 5th grade. What grade were you in?
I think I was in like the 9th.
Right.
Yeah, I was a freshman.
You're how old, James?
I'm 30.
You just turned 30. I'm
I
gonna be
was
28.
8th grade.
Right. So I would have been in the 6th grade and not failed, but I was in the 5th grade. But I remember my grandfather and my brother and sister's dad, a couple other people at like a family get together, talking about how like they couldn't believe how people didn't band together and just, my grandpa was like, if I was on the plane, he goes, I'm not saying, whatever, but if there's dudes with box cutters on the plane, 10 of us can fuck all those dudes up.
Well, that's what happened to the Mussolini one.
I mean,
yeah,
the
and
thing
it went
is,
down, right?
Yeah, they crashed it.
do you know like what's inside of an airplane, like how it's set up?
Crashed it.
Yeah,
Like,
I've been on
there's
tons.
if it's I don't know, Aaron, but I'm gonna ask you if when this happened in 2001, right? Right, I'm correct. Just to make sure.
What type of plane was it?
747.
Right,
Okay,
does that
747.
have
But does
three
that have the
rows?
airlock in it?
I believe it was 747.
Does that have the airlock where the chief is or the pilot? Because yeah, the cockpit.
Well, it wasn't. They didn't really start enforcing the cockpit thing majorly until after 9/11.
So what's that? You got to lock it.
It was still
locked.
lockable, but it wasn't as secure as it is today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I mean, like I said, if that was around during then, probably them fuckers could have probably just got up and punched him square in the face and pushed him off the plane.
Yeah, if you're a fucking pussy.
So are you saying they didn't take the proper precautions?
Well, I mean,
Well, like, why
if this is what really happened,
Or the precautions
I
did
mean,
not exist? Is it?
The
No,
reason
I
people
think
don't get up is
the
because
security wasn't as good as
Yeah.
it could have been. And plus, how did they get in with a knife?
that's
he was
the
using
question. Because
a box cutter.
TSA had
You don't think back then it wouldn't have been that hard to get a box cutter
No,
past
see, that's the thing
TSA?
is back then TSA was
Oh.
garbage. Now they're like
Now, you
overdoing it.
know
And
you
I was
won't do
like,
it.
now I'm getting my butthole fondled.
Now,
Get a
I'm
hand
not,
up.
Yeah, like I got a hand job walking
I'm
in.
not
to the
surprised that
airport.
they got the box cutters on the plane if that's what they had on the plane. What I'm saying is, if me, you, and James were on a plane like
Oh, yeah,
that,
we coulda
dudes
rushed
had
the shit
box
out
of
cutters,
them.
we would have
Hell
fucked the
out.
shit out of those dudes.
Wow.
No,
three
no
of us-
disrespect.
Wow,
No
you
disrespect.
guys don't
But what I'm
include
saying
me into
is,
this? Wow.
it just boggles,
You do that
boggles
too.
my mind how
Okay.
a whole group of people, let's just say there's like 80 people on the plane. You could have a gun on the plane and 80 people can beat your ass, no matter if you have a gun or not.
If
you
80
can only
people-
kill so many people and then you're fucked up.
It's just you had too many people that were afraid that
12 bullets is all you got.
I just
instead of
find
risking
that
my
12
one life to save 200 passengers.
Fuck that, dude.
Well, no disrespect to like the passengers. You know, they
Right,
probably did all
no.
they could or whatnot. But the
Just
thing
like-
is, there had to have been something else. Like
That's what
that-
I'm saying. Like, it seems
because
like it
there's
happened
no
way
way.
too easy, man.
Oh, wait, let me
Look
just
at-
say
look at-
something
look at-
before something. All right, whoever's listening, remember we are very good people.
Yeah, we're sympathetic.
We're sympathetic. We
Empathetic.
understand. We are with the victims. We it's a very tragic. We don't mean to say that the victims were
Hey,
not
for
doing
all
what
we
they
know,
could.
it could have been staged. Could
Yep.
have been no one on
The
that
thing
plane.
is, though, it's a conspiracy theory. It's only a theory. We are very kind
just
people.
joking.
We do not. I'm just saying again.
All right,
if you
Kyle,
get
it
triggered,
together.
Get
So,
triggered or anything,
like we were
don't
saying,
come
all
back
right,
to us.
so
It's a warning.
It sounds crazy to me that 3 dudes or whatever with fucking sharp objects took the plane over.
And pull up the video of the slow motion video of the plane going
Kyle?
in.
Yep, got it.
If you look at, I believe it, I can't remember if it was the first or the second. I'm pretty sure it was the first, but if you look at the first plane, on the top of the plane, there is a satellite dome on the top of the plane.
Oh no!
The only aircraft that have satellite domes at that size are military aircraft. They're military aircraft.
okay, that's far.
I'm
You're
looking
going-
this up right
I'm not
now.
going far. Like, look it up.
Now I believe it. Now something could have been funny because the first plane hitting it, yeah, they don't have F-18s in the air, but by the time
they were in
but
the
by
air,
the time
though.
the second, they should have. I mean, it should have been like a national security threat by then. So that plane should have been shot down at least the second.
Oh yeah. The crazy thing is that is well planned. How did
But
our intelligence agency not know that? That's
Okay,
the other thing is they
Just to
think
let
that
the audience know, I'm not agreeing with Aaron and his domes on planes and shit.
Remember, everybody, just to say it again, we are not
It could
against
be
the
real.
victims. It's only just a theory.
It could be real.
I'm just hey, if anyone finds this about us, you get in trouble, man.
For what? Because there's millions of people
Kyle,
are having the same
Legality.
thought, the same
get it
video.
together, Kyle.
Legality, boys.
Anyways, so satellite on the dome
All right.
of the
Here.
chrome of the dome of the top of the shit.
I think. Why can't I find the actual video?
Maybe they're pulled down.
Am I like not
Uh-oh,
seeing
yeah.
it?
It's more evidence right there.
Yeah, it's just
There's more evidence here. Videos
He
being
took
pulled
the
down.
videos down.
They took the videos down.
More
the
evidence.
second plane. You said the first one, right?
I couldn't remember. It was either first or second.
I'm gonna look at the second one right
Obviously,
now.
because it's 50-50 shot.
Well, the Saudi Arabia, they got sued and for billions of dollars because they actually proved that the government had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes.
How?
This is true. Here. A lawsuit accusing the Saudi Arabia government is in complicity in the September 11th terrorist attacks and seeking billions of dollars in damages can go forward, a judge ruled Wednesday. And this was put out Wednesday, March
I can't even find the
28,
video.
I just looked at the video.
2018.
Mhm.
It was a documentary came out. I remember the video. It's called From Kennedy to 9/11. It's a 3-hour video, but it's in there. It's literally ridiculous amounts of evidence pointing out that the towers was a staged event, a false flag.
Uh-oh. False flags. Trigger
False
word.
flags. Oh yeah, and what James said, that's a big thing. That came out. When did that come out here?
Listen, this Washington Times posted Wednesday, March 28, 2018, about the lawsuit and how Saudi Arabia tried to get the case dismissed because they said there was lack of proof that the government had anything to do with 9/11. But Judge Daniels, I guess the U.S. District Judge, he denied their dismissal of the case. So it's still going on.
Yeah. Well, something this controversial, if it was that or not, if it was a legit attack, a terrorist attack, or if it was a government staged one, why would Saudi Arabia? Well, they said part of it came from there, but some of them came from Kuwait. Like there was a flight from Kuwait, I believe, or they at least told us that the training that took place for it, part of it was in Kuwait.
You could sue another country.
Yeah.
Yes, and I guess the people
You can sue
who-
anybody in
They don't
America.
give you the money.
No,
Kuwait's in the middle of a lawsuit still. I believe it's still going on. That's been taken on since the first Gulf War. I believe it's with the French because the French are Americans.
Yeah, it should be French.
Oh, it's
kissing,
French.
but with.
The French had them build bunkers. The Kuwaits had the French build bunkers,
Okay.
and they said that it was indestructible or whatever, or it couldn't be defeated.
Has anyone not seen
And
Fallout 4
the
yet?
the U.S. came in and bombed the shit out of those bunkers. And so the Kuwait's suing France because the bunkers are got destroyed from U.S. bombs, and France is fighting it by
They
saying
should probably take a thing or two from
they were
Fallout.
designed to be. They were designed to protect you from your enemies, not from the United States. That's that's France's
So
rebuttal to that.
explain to me your view on the whole the tower falling, what it looked like to you. All those things.
The tower falling guaranteed, falling in its own footprint. That was a controlled death. There's no way in how a building could fall at the rate of gravity like that. No way, unless it's to control death. And on top of that, the jet fuel does not burn hot enough to melt or weaken steel. The only thing that does is
Norwegian
C4.
steel?
The only thing that does is C4.
Remember
And
Aaron's from the Air Force.
C4 is the
Norwegian
controlled
steel?
death. No, what?
Norwegian.
It's supposed to be America. Norwegian steel.
I mean, the Cleveland Steamer? Is that how you burn
Cleveland
things?
Steamroller?
Yeah.
If anybody does know what the Cleveland Steamroller is, look it up. I'm not gonna explain it. It's rather dirty.
So you think that it was controlled? You think someone
think
hit a button?
I think it was a controlled death. I think it was a false flag.
if the lawsuit goes through, the people who suffered loss will actually get compensated as well.
That's very good.
That is
Like they
that is
will,
pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So, other than that,
That's a lot of people.
that's a lot.
So you think 9/11 was a false flag?
Oh, guaranteed. I think
I personally
it was
think.
another reason for us to go in the Middle East.
Explain this shit with the Pentagon, though. That's the thing I thought was the weirdest thing. It didn't look to me like there was any evidence when I took photos that day that a plane fucking hit the Pentagon.
I saw a video.
There was like no debris,
There was no
none of that
aircraft
shit.
debris.
That's
I
the part I
agree
thought
with
was
that.
weird.
I agree
And on
with
top
that.
of
It
that,
didn't look like a plane.
the wingspan of that plane.
I did tons of research into like what
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like when planes.
No,
hit
this
shit.
is This is what the job looked like. It was some half-ass job, and they're like, "Listen, guy, you got to go out there and make it look like a plane hit this."
I think
And the
it was a
guy literally
Sidewinder.
went out there and spread a couple pieces of fucking foam. And then
The
he's just
Pennsylvania
like, "Oh my gosh, let's blow up the building now. A plane hit it. We're good. I'm an
Right?
artist."
I think a Sidewinder hit it. I think that was Sidewinder was launched at the
What the fuck is a Sidewinder?
Sidewinder
Sign-
missile.
Oh yeah. No, I lied. I didn't know that.
All right, look,
Scud
there-
missile?
there was a video,
Scud missile?
a surveillance video taken that was literally parallel with the side of the building, and there's telephone pole or there's light poles running down it, and you can just see this thin narrow thing shoot right in between it and hit the building and blow up. The wingspan of an aircraft would have taken out all of those light poles and would have left debris everywhere. It would have not just incinerated debris. It wouldn't have just incinerated into nothing.
Where's the footage too? Where's the rest of the footage? And on low-flying
Right.
aircraft, every
I
time.
haven't seen any real footage ever of it.
Nope.
Of it getting hit.
Yeah, dude. It's like
never, to my knowledge, on TV did they ever show videos of it actually getting hit.
this was during Bush,
We
right?
got videos of everything else getting hit. We don't have videos of the Pentagon getting hit.
missile
I
would
got a
be
new
too
conspiracy
fast.
theory. I got a new one. I think this was.
we got no video of it blowing up.
No, I know, but I'm saying, I'm talking about civilians around the area catching it on film.
So
if it was a 747, like,
Oh,
it would have
you're
been
gonna
caught
be-
on film.
Yeah,
A
you're gonna be
missile.
hearing that shit coming
Yeah,
from a
absolutely.
mile away.
My conspiracy theory is that Bush made that happen because remember he gave
I
the
fucking can't stand George Bush.
he gave the
Nobody
Iranians
did.
weapons.
And you
So
guys
even
are
if it
like
was an attack,
righty wigger types,
he worked
you guys
with-
are like George Bush.
Here's the thing: he worked with these guys, and what it did was this gave him another 2 terms for the cabal. Think about that for a second.
Although, hold on one second. Side note about George Bush. Although one of the most gangster things in the history of the United States happened during the George Bush era.
What was it?
Remember when the dude stood up and threw the fucking shoes at him?
And he dodged that shit? Fucking Matrix. I have the
Here's
video
the
of
thing.
the Pentagon crash right
Here's
here.
the thing.
Boom.
Let me see.
Here's the
Can I see
thing.
it? Okay.
It's a frame by frame.
Out of all the things
Video
that could
shot.
have happened that day, I don't give a shit what anyone says. George Bush did not think the dude was going to try to assault him by throwing shoes at him, right? These boots start coming hot, and George Bush just goes like this. Like, my buddy at work tries to throw shit at me, but I'm a ninja, so I literally just barely move out of the way of stuff. And he's just like, dude, how do you do that, right? I make him miss. He'll throw pens at me, and I'm just like this. Dude, that shit comes straight at George Bush's face, and he just looks, and he just goes. And then the second one comes, and he's just like, and then a little smirk comes up in his mouth. Like, this is the most fun I've had being the president these past, 6 years. It was great. There's, a little glint in his eye. Like, it was the first time I felt alive doing this job. That's one of the greatest moments in American history. When he dodged those shoes like that. But he's still a douche.
What do you think of that video,
And dumb
Kyle?
as fuck.
That's crazy. Just by seeing that, man.
My
That's
thing
insane.
on his family
Yeah,
is winning though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think
Bush
he's
is
dirty,
trash.
and I don't like him. Yeah, I think he's trash too.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely dirty.
But his family is winning though. You have to admit that they have manipulated the government,
Oh, fuck yeah.
and they're winning right now.
Well, look at it. Okay, so this leads to it. The reason why that was happening, it was a giant propaganda leap to get people to come in, because that generation, so they can have another reason, go back into the Middle East and send the military that they control to go and protect the Bush family oil fields, which are all over the area. Like, they're all over the Middle East.
Yeah.
And that's why he's supposed to detach himself from his own company when he becomes president. And what he did was he would go in and he just came up with a reason. They set up this whole event so that way they would be able to create a conflict or the war on terror
Yeah.
to go and protect the oil fields, get rid of all the people that were destroying oil fields.
All right, and now onto that. We all love exploring the bush, but we're going to move on to Project Blue Book. Aliens, reptilians, shapeshifters. Aaron, I know you've had some kind of experience with this.
So basically, from what I looked up, Aaron was like, look into it. From what I remember looking up, Project Blue Book is this thing that talks about the aliens that have visited Earth and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
So, Project Blue
wow,
Book,
that video is crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Here's another thing, real quick, to go back to that. Do you know how hard it would probably be someone that's not skilled on a plane to swoop that low and not hit the ground
That's
or go
another
above?
thing.
to
Yeah,
hit that,
there's
hit
no-
a one-story area.
The instructor that trained the guy.
I played video games my
You know
whole
what I'm
life and
saying?
airplane simulators, and I've crashed every time.
I don't care what everyone,
on the ground,
everyone says.
nose
That's
first.
like a 1 in a million shot to
The
hit that low like that.
the flight instructor that trained
And that doesn't
him
look like a plane hitting it.
did an interview with what I can't remember what channel it was. The
Channel
guy
9.
is that what it was?
I think it was, yeah.
But he did an interview with him, and he literally said that I don't understand how a person who didn't even pass. He didn't pass anything. He said he was the worst pilot that he had ever seen. And for him to make a bank and angle at that speed with that size
Not hit the
aircraft
floor.
and not completely stall out and crash was impossible. But that person did it somehow as an expert pilot. So the dome on top, they believe it was radio operated into the building.
Oh, so that's what you think the domes are? It's a
Oh yeah, they're
control.
satellite control. Satellite control.
Hear that, James? Or satellite control?
Well, this is the first time for me hearing about the dome, so
It's
I'm not going to speak on
pull up that Kennedy from Kennedy to 9/11. It's 3 hours long. So it's really good, but you're gonna have to fast forward to get to that part.
Okay, so I wanna stick something into this. We're gonna jump to this one. Well, remember where we were, Kyle.
We were
Right,
on Project Blue
We'll
Book.
talk about that. But hold on. So I want to stick one in there. Did you guys get the links that I sent you guys about that
No.
fucking shit in Philadelphia? I sent it to you. Did I send it to you?
I don't think so.
Keep going. I
Okay.
think I did.
So this past month, 300 plus priests got
Yes.
busted
Yep.
for abusing over like 1,000 fucking kids, right?
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
no offense to anyone that's like religious or whatever, but correct me if I'm wrong. Now I go to school to study the human mind, right? And I catch a lot of flack because I'm one of those people where I think I'm starting to be closer to my mind is made up where I feel like we shouldn't. I don't think I fully believe in the death penalty, right? Even though people do terrible fucking shit, right?
Oh,
I believe everyone deserves
Right,
it,
I know
including me.
I know most people do. Because I feel like people can be salvaged, right? Whether or not people
I think we
believe
should
that they
destroy
be.
half the population.
What I'm saying
Do a
is this.
Thanos.
I feel bad for even people that do heinous shit sometimes because we all were babies once. And the environment can warp our brains and turn us into fucking animals, right?
Demons.
So that's why I don't know how I feel about punishing people the way we punish people all the time, right? That being said, this is the only thing that can make me that it makes it so I have a hard time being measured in my belief about that. Because here's the thing. Yet most people that are fucking like sex offenders and people that rape people and shit, most of those people had that shit done to themselves when they're young and they're conditioned to think that that's okay and that's how they operate in the world, right?
Oh, priests.
But this shit with the priesthood that's been going on for thousands and thousands of years, it's gang shit. I think it's a culture. I think it's like an indoctrination of pedophile dudes.
Yeah.
It's like it's got a gang element to it. It's not just
It's organized. It's not just like,
it's not
oh,
the same
whatever.
thing as
But
like, oh, Uncle Steve out in Idaho fucking got hot for his 7-year-old niece or whatever. It's not that. This is a mass
Sweet
network of
home
dudes
Alabama.
that religiously and culturally have created a fucking system, a network where they can just fuck kids. And it pisses me the fuck off.
It's not like it's new. This has been going on.
It's been going on forever.
If I find a
But what
pedophile, I'll shoot him in the
I'm saying
head.
is, why are these guys not getting fucking in trouble and getting busted? When are we tearing it down?
And it's not like it's not
I'm gonna
unknown.
say it. I don't give a fuck if people follow me. They're religious. When the fuck are we tearing it down?
Well, listen, it's
when
not
are we
like
tearing
it's
this church shit down.
it's
to
not
be
like
honest,
it's not unknown.
I think every pedophile
But
should
nothing
be
gets
killed.
done about it.
100%.
How much do we need to know
You gotta
before we
think.
could fucking do something?
Look how much power the Catholic Church has.
Oh, yeah. No,
rule
of course.
absolutely. That's why.
They rule pretty much the world. Look how many Catholics are around the world. And
Also-
they've been doing it since the Crusades, before the Crusades.
But
Also,
the thing is,
remember
like,
how
the
big of an
authorities,
impact
the people
church-
that are like supposed to be protecting us shit, are they just gonna the scientists, the psychologists, that the FBI, all these other things, they're supposed
Here's what I
to be
gotta
out there
say.
to study and to protect us
That's
from
where
this
it
shit.
comes in when we talk
Like-
about the
Alright.
deep state and the
Like-
Let me
Illuminati
say
and
something,
all
I
that.
got
Why the fuck? This is one of those things where it just still fucking boggles my mind that we're not doing anything about this.
Here's
Because you know what? This is just gonna become another story too. How crazy that sound? 300 plus priests, fucking thousands of kids, and no one's gonna do shit about it.
Well, no, didn't you see the Fox News? Something was done about it. The Pope apparently apologized.
Oh, yeah,
He's gonna
apologize.
apologize.
Right.
yeah, the Pope's gonna what
Like,
the fuck's the
that's
Pope gonna do?
While two
That's gonna
9-year-old
heal my
twins
Pope's
son.
the one in
dick.
charge of it all. I mean,
Yeah,
come
no
on.
shit. But like, what's he
But
gonna
that's
do?
what
Is he
I'm saying,
gonna
like-
get rid of them?
So
think he
we're
doesn't
supposed to
know?
say in 2018, when we're all as intelligent as we are, we have access to information, we know what the fuck is going on out there, we know we shouldn't be abusing children, that like the world is just gonna be like, yeah, you know, it's whatever, bro. I told her I loved her. Like they've been doing it forever.
There's
like,
a thing going on called
just fucking kids.
it's peddle gender. It is the dumbest fucking thing
I
I've
don't think
ever
that's
heard.
real.
That's
That ain't
no,
real.
there. It's some. It's
Don't be honest
real.
with me. I know
It's
you're a
real.
conspiracy theorist, Aaron, but there can't be many
That's-
people that fucking
That
believe
is
that shit.
literally going around.
It
No,
is real.
what- You
It
talking
is.
about pedophiles being
The
great?
people that are
People
saying
being pedophile apologists.
Yo,
Now, like I said,
bruh, don't do that.
like
I
I
fucked up the
said,
whole recording. for a
I
sec.
understand how a pedophile gets molded, and
Damn.
I don't care
Just
what any
fine.
of you guys say. I'm still even sympathetic for the people that are fucked up to do terrible shit to women and kids, all that.
Right.
I'm still sympathetic, empathetic, all the shit in between, because I understand how the environment can warp you into being like that, right? But still, when kids get hurt, it fucking makes me sick to my stomach. And there's people
Whatever.
out there that are like, yes, those people need help, but you can't be
Yeah.
like apologists and just be like, oh, so you're telling me that it's nothing needs to be done about it? Like, so
Yo,
what
no,
should we
that's-
do here? Should we just let the pedophiles fuck kids?
No, you should never let that happen. That, for one, that's just disgusting, even just to hear, and it's kind of it does take me off. There's
Something
like,
I've been thinking about a lot lately because I read that whole entire thing and I started researching it and I was like,
And the thing is, they said that this is
and I
the
mean, you guys have
response.
children.
The priest's response said, that, "Oh, well, they were willing."
they were willing.
That's what the.
There's
that's
a
what-
thing
that's-
They
called
said
the
that they were
law.
willing.
They said that they were willing.
Well, you know, I don't know what's hilarious about that. This is why I don't think kids should go to church. Because
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a high percentage of kids that think that it's normal, and that's what we're supposed to be doing because God says it's okay that we suck dick at church.
Right?
Evan, you didn't have to go that far down.
No,
that's
I'm
a little
fucking serious.
too
It pisses
far.
me off.
It
Hey,
is.
that's what the Taliban does.
Well, yeah,
they lie
gay-
about
Gay
their.
Thursday.
That's what they lie about
Gay
their
Thursday.
religion, so they can get some
Yo, word.
hot booty sex.
Listen, the Muslims said this shit. The Muslims believe women are for procreation, men are for pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Word, how
Yeah.
fucking crazy is that?
Dude, we used to trade
Which there's
like.
nothing wrong with that, whatever, but
I mean, here's the thing, okay?
they fucking treat women
There's,
like dog shit, but men are for pleasure. I don't get that.
Because here's the thing. It's a different culture than how we are now because of how I feel like Israel and all those countries that treat women like trash are kind of like in a time capsule itself because
I do agree
It's
with
a-
that to an
yeah.
extent.
it is because here's the thing because they're still in this
Lindsay,
they're still in like the Judas
speaking of that-
era.
Lindsay brought up an interesting question, Kyle, now that you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay said to me, because I don't know if she read it somewhere. What's up, babe? I don't know if she read it somewhere, but like she asked me one night, she's like, do you think it's okay if people from a different culture and religion, in a religion where they're allowed to marry girls really young, if they immigrate here legally, should they be able to keep their wives?
No,
No.
No, the wives are like 13, 14-year-old girls.
Right, so
No.
what I told her was,
no, that's
what
illegal.
I told her was, here, no, they're not going to be able to. Do I care that it's happening someplace else?
But that's
If
kind
they've
of
been
the thing,
doing it for
though.
thousands of years and it's not too young, like, I mean,
Yeah,
in
that's a big
Germany, the
book.
age of consent's 14.
Yeah.
But what I'm
I
talking
mean-
about is, like, the churches are indoctrinating kids into just being pompos.
I hate to say
It's
this
been
just
going
because
on
it's on the
forever.
podcast, and this is my kind of personal belief on religion. My personal belief
Burn 'em all.
is I think religion is not necessary. It should not be a big part of your life. It should not because you should because my personal thing is if you want to do it, go for it. If your religion is peaceful, doesn't hurt people,
Listen, you
That's
got the
fine.
man from the Bible Belt to your left, all right?
yeah. But
Oh
like
yeah, I believe in God, but I don't care. Like I'm not the type to be like, hey, well, you better start believing God, or you're going straight to hell. No, I really don't care what happens to your soul.
I don't need to go
Suck
back.
a dick, now you know what Satan tastes like.
I already been to hell.
I love that, James. I really don't care what happens.
I
to
don't
your
care
soul.
what happens to your soul, but I do, me and my families. Yeah, absolutely.
But
I
like
can't wait to find out what happens to my soul. If there is one.
I mean, all right. See, I believe the whole Anunnaki theory.
Oh Christ!
That's
We're
No,
off the
no.
rails.
We talked about this.
Can we
So what are we? What are
hold
we at?
up?
Okay, so we all agree
We have
here.
not talked about Project Blue Book.
We're gonna
at
go to that
all.
right now, but like we all agree that shit's fucking disgusting, and it's
Yeah,
like,
True that.
100%.
In
I would
closing on
punch
that topic,
every
do you
last
guys-
one of them square in the face.
do you guys fucking think anything's ever really gonna be done about that?
Probably not. It's been
probably
going on.
not. It's just-
you know what?
it's
I'm
been
sorry
such
to
a
people.
long
I know
time.
you're religious and shit, and I know you don't go to church. But in my opinion, if I was being someone that was making decisions, I'd be banging the table to be like, take away all the fucking church's rights that they have that we don't fucking
Yeah,
have.
but that
And
goes
I-
against the Constitution. You can't do
But
that.
yeah, plus also remember, you gotta remember too,
I
the
think the Constitution
church.
will reform, bro.
Oh,
You say that, then that gives the opportunity.
You
for people to
realize
reform the
that-
Second Amendment.
Yeah, like the thing is, after the amendments have been all together, have been
Obviously,
made
I'm just
perfect.
joking. But like, if you fuck kids, you should, something needs to be done. Kids shouldn't
Yes.
be getting
Just
fucked
put,
in
just pull,
churches.
Should
just
be
say
done.
it's, just get
And
a
I don't give shit what
44,
anyone says.
cock
These
it,
churches
put
use all
some
that
bullets in,
bullshit
boom,
as a
done.
ruse to take people's money, bang kids.
Well, listen, there's a reason why I don't go to church. I'm smart enough and blessed enough where I can self-educate myself on the Lord. But the thing is, the church, like Evan says, to go off what he says, they are corrupt. They want your money. They're driving Bentleys. They're driving Mercedes.
they're
like,
Jaguars.
My
it's like, why am I pulling up in a Honda?
the local
giving
priest
you money?
drives a
I was about to tell us a dark story. What'd you say, Kyle? The local priest?
the priest that I used to go to church for, or whatever.
This is
He
confessional.
just retired. I go over there, because I'm
You
driving
just
past
retired,
this.
you go over there. What happened?
Shut up for a sec, okay? For the love of God, let me finish my story.
He's like,
No, I was
"Sit thy
I was
room,
kind of like,
child.
I can't wait till you leave. But what happened was, I
Sit
see
it
him
on thy
drive up.
thigh."
So this guy's been kind of shady, and this guy's he's shady as fuck. I went over to the church, and he has like this bust up wagon, okay? And I remember this. So on his last day, fucking drives up with a Lexus, with a really nice one, like none of that like weak ass
Did he
shit.
hang a lollipop out the window?
No, but the thing is, he had like an expensive car. He had these. Remember, those gold chains that them guys have aren't fake. They're real. Those are like full gold. Them things aren't cheap.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So other than that, now that we got that out of the way, also one, I hate pedophiles. Any pedophile, I hope you burn in hell. There's a special place for people like you. You're not special. You're trash. Then.
You deluded piece of garbage.
And so now to next is Project Blue Book that we
Okay.
somehow went off.
So
Evan, I know Aaron, you had an experience with this. You want to tell that story on here?
All right, so Project Blue Book. I don't have experience. I've researched
Aaron's
it.
like, I've been probed.
It's still up there, man.
Hello, boys. I'm back.
No, I just researched it. It's something. It was an actual government agency. It was a project actually opened up by a government agency where they would categorize any of the extraterrestrial life that's come or has come to our planet, our country, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Space immigrants.
Yeah, right. Space immigrants. It's almost like the movie Men in Black. It's literally like the movie Men in Black. Which there's also something about the Men in Black being an actual thing, but not as being funny, joking Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Basically, like you got American money, blah blah, boom.
I mean, these things. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it when you're researching. Like, I didn't really memorize all that stuff. I just read into it, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting."
Yeah, but wasn't there a commander that you let in, and it said like some kind of?
Yes, yeah.
Now I remember the story. Okay.
I was working at a secure location for an alert scramble deck at my base of operations, and I'm checking the EAL, make sure everyone's clearances are right, and the guest clearance comes in. And so I check his clearance, I scroll down, it was a one-star general. He comes up, and I read his clearance, and it says Cosmic Top Secret Clearance. And I'm like, all right. that's weird. I've never heard of that before. And so I asked him, I was like, cosmic top secret clearance. What is that? He's like, what do you think it is? And I was like,
who are you?
Space aliens? He's like, I can neither confirm nor deny what it actually is. And so, I mean, that whole thing happened. I was kind of mind blown, and then I went and researched it. And literally, the only thing that I could find were those like really shitty made websites for crazy conspiracy
1997 ones.
like 97 websites. Like, yeah, it's one of those like websites where they actually have like, oh, an animated galaxy is your background picture on the website. And it was all in black with like neon.
No, that's
green
like
text.
MySpace level right there, dude.
There was neon green text. Yeah, and at that point I was like,
You
well,
are not alone.
They had a bunch of stuff about on there was on the website. It was they're talking about what the clearances actually involve, like how we have a base on the moon, a base on Mars. We already have all this stuff, and I was like, okay, that's interesting, but I completely blew it off, and that was back in the day. That was probably over 10 years ago, 12 years ago, or no, not 10 years ago. It was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Was your asshole looser the next night?
No, it was not.
Oh.
It was not.
Wow.
I don't believe that really, but
I feel like whoever's gonna listen to this is gonna like
So
make
when I looked
fun
up-
of me for
When
the
I
rest of my
looked up
life.
Project Blue Book, it showed 6 different distinct aliens that had visited us.
There is one that's a humanoid blue bird. It's like a blue bird that has a beak and all that stuff. It's a humanoid bird.
Guess it's got a pecker. But
It's got a big pecker. They said
There's
that
the tall
one.
grays. There's a little green dude.
Yep,
there's
there's that.
a little white dude.
they're called Martians, Evan.
There's
You gotta
the
get out
shit
of
The
your
blue
right.
guys, the bluebirds are called Re.
Re?
They call themselves Re.
Re.
And they say that they are the ones from Egypt, the ones that were responsible for Egypt.
Oh.
Re as in raw. Raw as
Oh
Re.
yeah,
And
because
how the people with
all
the
the
human
depictions-
heads are with the human bodies.
Aaron's
and-
been playing too much Assassin's Creed.
No, I'm not.
okay, let's not talk about
that
that.
is a
Yeah,
good game,
that's
but-
not. That's
But
not what I
Assassin's
want
Creed
to
does
talk about.
have some good things about history in it, but that's.
I will actually agree. I do like some history kind of games like that.
But the bird, like that bird head and the human body kind of thing.
What's up with the dog head then? Where did that come from?
I have no fucking clue.
Because if they come with the bird, you know what it could be? Their mortal enemy.
We're
getting
why would they be
some
working
fucking-
together if they were mortal enemies?
No, they're not
They
working
rule-
together.
they
They
rule a
put them
kingdom.
as the death because if they're transferring, they transfer their culture to another planet to survive. Like even though they don't like die, they transfer the tradition
This
over.
is what I think is a more accurate representation of like an Egyptian movie. Everyone got all pissed off about the movie Gods of Egypt because they said they were portrayed by white people and all that other shit.
Oh, everyone's butthurt about that shit.
What
But
was
here's the
that?
Someone
thing.
came up to me the other day and goes, "Bro, did you see Black Panther?" I go, "I don't watch any superhero movies." "Oh man, you gotta watch it. Why?" "Because everyone in the movie is black." I go,
And that's a good movie
"Oh,"
because-
that's racist.
So I'm.
How is that
yeah,
racist?
That's
It is
racist.
racist.
It is racist.
Say that's the
God damn it.
reason.
And I'm supposed
I'm
to
sorry,
go run and
I
watch
apologize.
it because there's only black people in it. Like that's racist as fuck.
Yeah.
It is right. I mean, okay, I thought you were making fun of
And
me.
when they say that, they say it with this look on their face, like they're so happy there's no white people in it. It's so fucking.
That's
funny.
it's racist, but it's funny. It's
First
not
off,
racist.
Let's keep it G real here. Like the podcast. I know you like superheroes and shit.
Yeah.
Black Panther ain't
Yeah.
fucking dick anyways. That's superhero
No.
and shit.
You know what
So I don't know how
the
everyone got
Black
excited
Panther reminds
for
me
it.
of? Anyone remember the
It has nothing
movie?
to do with them being black.
Anyone remember the movie The Phantom?
He's just not important.
Came
Not
out in,
really.
like, I think it was mid to late '80s. There was a guy that dressed in all purple, he had a phantom mask. He was on an island,
Hmm.
and it was his family's line. Everyone said that the Phantom was immortal, but it was passed on to the next generation of son for like 100 years or something.
I mean,
like that.
that's kind of the thing with Black Panther.
Yeah, it's like the Black Panther.
But what
It's
relevance does Black Panther have in the fucking all the comic
Well, like,
shit?
the Phantom had like the skull ring that shot lasers out of it
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
But like, is he
I remember
important
that.
to the
You remember
universe of superheroes?
Okay, first, all I have to say is back to the black thing and
Black Panther.
me. I didn't mean to be racist, but here's the thing: when a movie is only of black people, so say this: if a movie was
Kyle's about
only
to get
white
no
people,
fans right
it's
now.
not. It's racist. It's
Right,
there's
that's
no
what it's
black
for.
guy. It's racist. Oh, but if it's only black people, it's like, oh no, it's not racist.
No one's gonna
It gets
follow
raised.
Kyle's
What's the
channel
difference?
anymore.
What's the difference?
I understand.
Between
Kyle's
racism
point.
should be on both sides.
A whole audience is like black. And
If there was a movie made where it was all white people, then yes, they would criticize it and they would say it was racist because they had no black people, no
It's
Hispanic people, or
culture.
anything
It's
like
culture. That's the problem.
But they get a movie where there's all black people, not a single person of any other race, and it gets praised. I
tell you
understand
what,
what Kyle's saying because it happens.
I'll be honest, 100%. I hated that they went to Wakanda. I fucking hate it. There's so many better places they
Anyways,
could have fought. In
aliens. Do you guys believe in aliens?
I want to. It depends. How much are you willing to pay me?
What?
For real.
Okay,
No,
for
okay.
real.
Here's my thing about aliens.
Oh, here you go.
Okay, they're like ghosts to me. I don't believe in them because I ain't seen them. Now you can come to me.
100%
But then-
believe in ghosts.
You can come to me with your
There's
story
a
about how
lot
an
of,
alien touched your butt at night while you were sleeping.
Hold
But
on.
until that shit happens to me, I'm not
Oh,
gonna
James, I love you, but let's get this out of the way. Ghosts ain't fucking real. Let's just get that out.
believe.
They're real.
I love everyone out there. Ghosts aren't fucking real. You guys watch too much fucking Exorcist and shit.
There is demons.
I'm
There are
almost
demons,
28.
though. They're just
I haven't
not the
fucking
demons in
seen dick.
cartoons, you think.
I haven't fucking seen any ghosts. There ain't no fucking ghosts.
Agreed. I am 30 years old, and if I hadn't seen a
You're
ghost,
30?
Everyone around
30
me has
years old.
apparently seen ghosts.
Yeah,
but I've never seen one. Oh, it's because
Kill
you
me.
don't believe, bro.
Stop it.
It's because you
What
don't
is that?
believe,
Is that
bro.
Peter Pan?
no, it's because you're lying, or you were really bad on drugs at the time.
Kill me.
It's my dog.
Yeah, itching like crazy.
Come here. Come here.
So you're on the fence about ghosts.
Well, I will say, aliens.
James is about to tell us a crazy
I will
story.
say
from his
aliens.
I have a
been involved in the
story.
government more. I mean, because they got the Space Force now.
They
So
got
what
the
do they
Space
build a
Force.
Space
What
What are
Force
they
for?
preparing for?
We're
Yeah.
signing up.
Why are they setting up for a
We
space
signing up.
marine
We're all gonna
for?
become space marines.
No, I know Aaron.
Bro,
was
I will become a space
I'll sign
marine.
up in a fucking
Oh, for
heartbeat.
sure.
Hell yeah.
Yo, space buddies.
Space buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, that was kind of weird.
Pussy.
Hand
Anyway,
play.
Okay. First
so
off,
Kyle, aliens.
okay,
Believe in
I
aliens?
do believe in aliens, but I think they're kind of like with the thing with what was it Enki? It was called
Anki.
Oh,
Enki. It's more of
Enki.
I can
Anu,
see.
and,
I believe.
Uncle Iggy.
I believe in H.P. Lovecraft's kind of interpretation of aliens.
Who the fuck is that?
You don't. Oh my god. So H.P. Lovecraft makes horror not on like say scary things like visual. He does it more in a mental state, like psychology wise, where he makes it seem like humans were nothing. We're not useful. There was no God. There was nothing. It was all an experiment. Like we were just a sign. And the thing is, what he makes it to be is the aliens are just watching us. Like Cthulhu's a real. Like they're saying he makes it seem real. I know it's not real, but he makes it seem so real in your mind because you start questioning yourself. Am I real? Was I really made from God, or was I made in a test tube? Or has all of this been
almost kind of like the
planned?
Matrix.
Kind of, well, not kind of like the Matrix. Yes, it is kind of like the Matrix, but this is more of you lose when you think about this. It's not like with the Matrix. You can find a solution. You can find an answer. With this, there is no solution. You go down this infinite spiral of your mind just losing itself to going crazy, or you think there's a power that's strong in you, and you know that you can never beat that. And what does that do to somebody in their mind state? Like, what if Evan found out there's someone that's strong, and he wants to be strong than that person, but he knows that he can never be stronger? Like, what's the point of working towards it?
Evan would still run up and punch him in the face.
I know, but still the thing is the guy would go up and kill him. Here's the thing, is just how do you feel mentally when you are told you're not, you weren't made unique?
Right,
what
Kyle,
if you
this
weren't,
This is going off the reservation a little bit.
But
Aaron, aliens.
Oh yeah, hands down.
But here's the thing though. Aliens, now this is a loaded thing with Aaron, because Aaron, you can go on your Anunnaki thing and your belief in the aliens. Well, you might as well at this point.
Can I say something before you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, don't go off of just because you read a lot
Hear
of
from
sci-fi
someone.
shit when you were younger. I want to hear
James
cold
is serious about
facts.
this shit.
I want to hear why aliens are real. Go.
Okay.
I just-
Well, hold on,
I don't
before
know.
he starts, I will say I do 100% believe that there's life, but they found that it's mathematically going to be years and years before we could ever even find someone. Like, we'll have to accidentally find each other.
probably like
If technology,
yo,
that's
it's
what
like
they think.
what
If you're
was it?
coming from the view that all we know is we're humans on Earth, and we know that there's life out there. We found life on like fucking Mars. We found water on Mars.
What was that
shit,
PlayStation
right?
4 game?
So
that's
like, if you look at it as all we
it's
know
like a
right
space
now
game.
is
You
we're
travel
on
the
Earth
galaxy.
and we
No
believe
Man's
life
Sky.
is out
there
there.
you go. No Man's Lie.
Then
Sky.
yes, I do believe there's
Lie,
life
it was
out
a
there.
lie,
But they
trust
said if you did an equation, mathematically they did an equation where they're like thinking what they know, what they've discovered about the galaxies and so far the universe. They were saying like it's mathematically like such a small chance we run into someone.
It's like with No Man's
But
Sky. I
do
kind of want
believe
to
there's
think
shit
of
out there.
like
There's
if
gotta be.
there's no like I feel that there's no like it's 1 in a million, like you said, like 1 in probably a billion. What I would think is I think Planet X. You ever heard of that? You ever heard of like Planet X or anything?
Yeah, Nibiru or whatever.
Yeah,
Planet
yeah.
X,
So I don't think.
that's supposed to be where the Anunnaki come from.
All right, so tell us. Let's let story time with Uncle Aaron.
Yay!
Let Aaron tell us how he believes
Uncle
why we're
Aaron.
here with all the Anunnaki.
Okay, so
This is his belief as to why we are the way we
the
are. Why we're here
the oldest written language ever discovered on the planet, ancient Sumerian texts, is when it was translated. It's been translated over and over again multiple times, and they all get the same story. But they've further broken the code on the ancient Sumerian text. So the story is actually starting to come together. But it talks about how gods came down from the heavens, riding chariots or whatever, not chariots, but whatever vehicles or something, coming here, and they took the DNA of whatever was living here before, and they wanted to use it as a slave race. So they manipulated it so that way it was a little more intelligent, could understand everything more. And so they used part of their DNA into the DNA of
When you're told do something, you do it.
of what was already here. And that's what comes in when it comes to religion. God made us in His own image. They took their own DNA, their own image, and they put it into the DNA here to create what that was.
What do you think they look like?
And there's.
Did you watch Prometheus, bro?
No. There's
Get it together, Kyle.
like the carvings in Egypt, or not the carvings in Egypt. The carvings in
India?
carvings in Egypt, carvings in ancient Samaria, which today is modern day Iraq and Syria area. And that's why it's so hard for us to get in to actually look at these ruins, because you can't get in to look at these ruins without getting attacked and shot at or blown up or whatever. But
You guys are crazy.
that's what they say. They developed us to be a slave race, and then they needed us more, so they gave us the ability to repopulate and did all. They pretty much Enki is the one that was responsible for engineering our DNA. But they pretty much made us. That's how they made us, to be a slave race. And then Enki wanted to stay back to help us, and he didn't like the way we were treating us because he, created us. And Enlil was the one. I think it was Enlil's Anu or Enlil.
Aaron
But-
knows this whole fucking Anunnaki.
It's Enoch, right?
Enki and
No,
Enlil
Enoch.
and-
Enoch was Noah's grandfather.
Oh yeah.
Noah. Yeah, Enoch was Noah's grandfather. But Enoch, the book of Enoch, literally writes the whole story. If you read the book of Enoch, it tells his depiction of the whole thing because he was there. Like, he was at the end of it when the war broke.
He's like, it was a misty night on an August evening.
But
Yeah, it's chugging right through my mind.
Enoch, he was in the First World War.
yeah, he was in the first war. Right? Yeah.
No, World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he witnessed the battle between everybody.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes in with Christianity, Catholicism, is the war that broke out when Satan wanted to take over. They threw him out of the heavens, and that's why he's down there and all that. And that's what we're talking about with the Anunnaki. It was the same principle with the Anunnaki. It was Enki who got thrown out for trying to save man because he didn't want them to be in prison, and Enlil was the one that threw him out, and the whole war broke out. And all the following of Enki are the ones that were left behind, and that's where you get the Nephilim giants. That's their offspring from mating with humans, which was against the law, and that's part of the reason why the whole war broke out too, and all that stuff.
So they're fucking human.
They say it's every 3,600 years or something the planet comes back around.
So you said you think that civilization, something happens and it gets reset.
Yeah, well, like every time this planet comes around, the see our progression, and we're the only race currently that can affect them taking over their planet because we're made in their image. And that's like the whole. That was the war.
I wish our captors gave us superpowers.
Enlil waged war to stop us from being able to take over all worlds. That he was afraid of us.
How many years did you say?
Every 3,600 years.
So are we due?
Yeah, that's what I.
Well, like with. Part of the thing is,
3,600 years?
Yeah, every 3,600 years is the orbit.
Think of like one day for them. Like
it would be in history.
Right, it would have been in history.
Well, that's also part of the thing that brings in the Library of Alexandria.
Oh, here we go. I was waiting for
Oh,
that.
God.
The Library of Alexandria had the last 10,000 records of history recorded of man. And who burnt the Library of Alexandria?
The
Catholic
Church, yeah.
The Catholic Church was threatened by what it said in there because it went against their belief, and they burnt down the church.
Yeah.
And then whatever documents they kept for technology and stuff, they brought it in. You know that there is the Order of Jesus in the Catholic Church. Every single one of them has a degree in chemistry. They have a doctorate in chemistry.
What?
So, the whole heads butting between science and religion. These guys are actually working with technologies that they had and found that had in either UFO
LOL,
or
they poisoned the freaking
anything
water.
that they had in the Vatican Library. They have stuff from Library of Alexandria, the Dead Sea Scrolls. There's
so who's hiding it? Who sees it and who's hiding it? Is this where the Men in Black come in?
No, this is where the whole topic we started on is the deep state or cabal.
Yep.
Or
I want to call
Illuminati. That organization that's literally
the business
controlled the
Nazis.
world behind the scenes is what's involved. And part of it is it's part of the organization that's here to prepare for Anunnaki, and part of it is one fighting against them coming back.
Kitty.
From Anunnaki.
What you got to say about all this, James?
I want to say stuff.
Look at
The
Zachariah.
story, he does know his shit. I'm surprised of the story he has, but I mean,
There's a complete
I think it would be in
translation. There's a complete translation and depiction of the tablets of ancient Sumeria.
All you guys need to know is Bayek of Siwa's wife killed fucking Julius Caesar. That's all you fucking know. Alright?
But Zachariah Zichkin, he has done research on the Anunnaki and the ancient Sumerian tablets for 4 decades now, I believe. And he has a complete series of books. I have all the books if any of you guys want to read one of them.
Yeah, if you just go up to Aaron and be like, "Yo, dude, you that
the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch. You can go online and download the PDF and have a PDF online of the Book of Enoch.
So what you're saying though is every time that this time rolls around, 3,600, right?
Every 3,600 years is when the planet comes online.
Okay,
and that's where the pole.
This is hidden every time This is hidden by the Catholic Church, or this is.
Well, I don't know if this happens every time. I think everything gets reset.
What?
They say that Alexandria, Egypt, and all of them are societies of high technology, and Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, high technology. Who's to say that we haven't already gotten to this point of high technology before they came back? And when they came back, it caused a gravitational shift on our planet with their planet, causing natural disasters like the Great Flood, which has been recorded, like the volcanoes erupting at the same time as the Great Flood.
But doesn't that seem
saw
so
something.
sad, though? Because think about the shit that we kind of feel like we're projected to do.
Well, that's the thing is, religion,
we're
in
supposed
my
to
opinion, was a
eventually
cover-up.
be in the skies, flying, visiting other,
We're supposed to be
worlds.
angels, my dude.
Eventually, we're supposed to be able to travel.
Or
around
space octopuses.
You
I
mean to
honestly
tell
think that
me
the
we
Catholic
never get
Church,
there?
the Catholic
We
Church,
never
in my
get
opinion,
there.
it was covering
How
up for
sad is
literally
that?
everything that happened.
If you believe that, that means we never get there. The fifth element never happens.
Well, it's every time. That's what happens.
Guys,
they're
guys.
afraid of us
Leave
being
the
able
Dallas
to-
multipack.
Guys, stop. You're hurting James.
Okay,
He's not gonna
as
function
a religious
well.
person, I believe that the Bible. I'll admit it. I believe that the Bible is altered for the way they want us to live. Like
Yes.
don't get out of control, guys.
Like
that type. But I don't think that history is erased every 3,500 years.
I
No.
think. All right. Which Bible do you read? King James? King James Bible?
Oh shit, we're about to get deep right here.
Oh,
Do you know how
no.
King
He's
James
calling you out on
wrote
what
the
Bible
Bible?
you read, son.
Well,
What
I'm
Bible
not
you read?
trying to get
King
into
James?
No, like-
God.
No,
King
it's
James?
religion or anything. I'm not trying to do that. And I don't think
yeah.
I don't want to turn the podcast that way either about
We can
religion.
go wherever we want, bro.
But
Just don't turn us gay.
I just think the
Of
Anunnaki.
course they won't do that.
I think everything about the Anunnaki has just been covered up, and part of the whole war in the Middle East was paid for by that government that form of government that's in the deep state or the Illuminati or Cabal. I think that they're paying it off with those tribes to war against us, or that's just an excuse for us all to be in the Holy Lands, because that's all where we are.
Now, do the Illuminati, do they worship Satan? Because this is what
I really don't research
have
into the whole
no-
Satan thing.
I don't know, to be honest.
You think it's just a cover up, like to make them fit into society a little
No,
bit?
I mean, whatever they talked about the Illuminati are the devil
Listen,
worshippers.
Alex Jones thinks when you take DMT, you go and see the devil. You see, you take these psychedelic drugs, folks. You get all high.
Dude, you're
you
so
get all,
good at his
You
voice.
get all hopped
The
up.
water's
on
turned the
DMT.
frogs gay.
And then there's all these things start coming in, you know. You start seeing these colors, and all of a sudden, he acts all nicely, but he appears. It's the goat. It's Baphomet. That's what you see.
You even have his facial expressions when you do it.
It's Baphomet. That's what you see, folks. I
I
don't need drugs, folks. I don't need no DMT. I get there in my mind.
here's my
Believe it.
here's my like depiction of the devil. I don't see like a goat half man
Sounds pretty
thing.
cool to me.
I see more of like someone in a suit that has gold rings on.
All right, next topic.
Shut up.
Next topic,
Have you
Kyle.
summoned the devil? Kyle?
like,
No.
like golden rings. Like
Not
the
yet,
rings,
not
like
yet.
the rings
But
you lose when you take a hit with
it's-
It's a
Sonic.
little messed up to be dabbling.
well,
What's the next
it-
topic?
Okay.
We
well,
spent a little
He's
time
been
on
slinging that DMT.
that. What's the next topic?
oh man. The next one is it's gonna take forever. Oh god.
What's-
The JFK assassination.
Okay, so we don't have to spend a shit ton of time on this.
Greasy Hole, Lee Harvey, Oswald, KGB, CIA,
All right,
Mob, Marlon
so I wrote a
Monroe.
bunch of shit down. We could gloss over it.
Happy birthday.
Well, let's like just talk about like, you know what I was thinking about today, because I was in art class and I was actually thinking about this JFK shit. We weren't even alive. And like, there's so much shit that's so fishy
There's
with
so
that
much
shit.
evidence.
There's so much evidence. And when you hear him talk out and speak out in those speeches, dude, they give you goosebumps. Where he's like warning against the secret societies and the deep state and all these other.
You know
fucking
what's
things.
funny is
Dude, it bums me out that he got off.
what makes me sad.
I believe that someone. It wasn't just some fucking deranged dude that fucking armed JFK, dude.
What makes me sad is
The deep state got him, man.
The CIA documents came out about the whole
my
thing. A lot of it is covered up, but
And
Dude,
dude, we weren't even alive back then. That shit makes me feel bad now.
Hang on,
I wasn't
this
even there.
This is what I heard. I heard that all the evidence won't come out until George Bush Sr. dies.
well,
I hope.
How was that
Trump
possible?
yeah,
Please.
that's part of it.
How is that possible?
One of the
What does that
main
mean?
one of the main names that's on there responsible for the whole thing.
Well, he was the head of the
He
CIA.
had the CIA at the time, but his name was covered up in all of it. So when he dies is when everything is officially
personally,
come out.
100%. I don't think that. It's just the attack was too sloppy. Everything there was just. It wasn't. It couldn't make sense. Like to get a moving shot. Like
Well,
okay,
it wasn't
you were a
moving,
sniper,
he
right?
stopped. No, James was.
James, you're a sniper, right? To have like a moving target.
I was marksman.
Whatever. I don't. Never mind. I'm not really on this
All right,
topic.
Okay, so we can only run till 10. So
We're gonna-
let's start. Let me hand me that.
All
paper.
right, time to speed run this.
Give me that, Kyle.
All right, here you go. Because I've literally have not said anything funny in this, to be honest. I was trying to get some humor out. Like, a lot of people are not going to like me because of my opinion on religion now.
All right,
Because of... Right, Aaron?
Aaron, give us a lowdown on Sandy Hook.
That's touchy.
The AR was not even taken out of the car. It was just the pistol.
Yeah.
So there are people that believe Sandy Hook never happened.
Yeah. I do, but I don't. I don't know. Do you really want me to? That's
Go into
okay.
it briefly.
Okay. So the one of the girls that was assumed dead, they said that she was dead. Yeah, they put up a picture of her in a red, white, and black dress. Literally the next day after the shooting, you see the same girl in the White House live on TV in the same dress getting a picture with Obama. The other one on top of that is the teacher, the one that saved all the kids, Soto, I think her name was.
Mm-hmm.
She died at Sandy Hook shooting, but somehow she survived the Boston bombing attack. I don't know how she could have survived Boston bombing attack if she died at Sandy Hook, because Boston bombing attack was after Sandy Hook. And they showed the same exact picture.
Dude, didn't you know
of the
rats
girl.
are immune to bombs?
What?
Rats are immune to bombs.
You
I don't
mean
know about
nuclear
that.
shit?
Hmm?
You mean like nuclear?
No, that's a joke. It was a joke. I was gonna say that it was just
I know
fake.
cockroaches should survive nuclear shit.
Whatever.
Listen,
Everyone's
me,
gonna
me
hate
on
me
Sandy
after this.
Hook, I give our American people more credit than that. I don't think that they would let something happen like that big of an acting job to
No,
persuade, whatever that person wants, which I think is gun control.
But that comes in where the media is, man.
Yeah, but I don't think they can do that and just get away with it by everybody. Like, it's gonna get leaked. You know what I mean?
Well,
You can't publicly do
to
something.
be fair, I mean, I feel like the church shit is bigger than fucking Sandy Hook.
The
and they get
church
away with
was
all
even
that.
more fishy.
But you've seen all those people run out of school. How are they gonna that many people and it doesn't get leaked? Like,
That's where you take up their,
but no, people
clean up the
snitch
crumbs.
too many times, man.
That's why you
Like,
clean up the crumbs. That's why all these people randomly will just get knocked off in accidents. Well, their brakes just stop working.
Here's what I gotta say about this. It's horrible. All right, my thing is, it's a horrible event. It was very bad. Our hearts go out to the victims of it. These are theories. Nothing serious.
Also, the census archive. The census says that no child of that many number, or no children were killed in a homicide
Okay.
or anything like that. Or of that year.
I just think that there also was kind of a thing against video games because they said like, oh, all he was in his room. But then you look more into it that he was locked in a basement, and the only thing his mom would feed him, it was just his mom. His mom would just feed him food like 3 times a day. Not even see him. He was locked up in his room in a dark room where all he had was a game for like probably a year now.
Okay. Next one. George Soros,
Don't know who that is.
investor,
Nazi.
supposedly owns a large portion of the world's wealth
Nazi.
and
Nazi.
governments.
I'm just gonna see what Aaron says.
Funds Antifa sold out the Jews to the Nazis. So
He did. He admitted it in an interview, live interview.
yeah, I listened to it
Yeah, he admitted it.
and thought it was funny.
And he says, I don't regret it at all. Probably because it made him the wealthiest person. He is the wealthiest person in the world.
Yeah.
No way of doubting that.
There's no
So
way.
he supposedly funds Antifa.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
So let's segue into the Antifa. Aaron, give us the rundown of Antifa. I know you're on the home front. I know you're on the front lines. Tell us what's going down.
Me
with
and James
Antifa.
saw a couple of Antifa guys at a bridge walk when we went to a Second Amendment walk in Albany. But
they wasn't shit.
They weren't shit. They were a bunch of little high school kids.
Yeah,
And
get fucked up out there with
but
some Antifa
There's
guys.
3 of us.
Son.
Like, there's 3 of
Antifa-
us, and there's probably like 8 of them.
Antifa make those little cum bombs.
Yeah, probably 6 to 8 of them.
Fucking just do the check
Can't
off
remember.
rifle.
Yeah, they were staying on the other side of the sidewalk and just kind of watching us. They sent a couple stragglers to try to get in our group.
We had
They're
what, 300 people? Something like
They're
that?
like, they're like, look at these bearded fucks.
We were deep, man, and if Cuomo would have came out there, we'd have whipped that ass. So,
Oh, yeah.
So the Antifa is mobilizing.
Yeah, I don't know about mobilizing.
They got numbers.
Well, they do have people like, there's that thing that happened at, well, it wasn't Berkeley. Was it Oregon? I think it was Oregon. Where there was a prayer vigil march that was going on. And they didn't have any weapons, no nothing. And Antifa comes up and starts throwing tear gas and rocks and hitting people with batons and asks. But the Proud Boys were there. And the Proud Boys put security. If you guys go look up Rufio Proud Boys, you'll see him probably knocking out an Antifa dude with an ass. He blocks him with a baton, and then he just like decks him in the face. One hit, gets dropped, and he hits another person. Yeah, or he almost hit another person, but he realized it was female.
I will say, bring iPro if you do any protest.
Dude, probably a helmet. Watch
That
out
is
for
like
people with
I
white
think
box.
that's the most thing that
Like I said, you guys gotta wear GoPros.
the most violent thing that they try to get to your eyes because they can't fight.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
pepper
They're
spray.
little like kids and shit like that. You've seen their martial arts class, right?
Oh my god,
You've
the
seen
one that was it
online.
San Francisco?
I just feel like if like I got lined up against like a herd of Antifa, I could just like run through them.
Yeah, you could.
Like I can
Just
mow
wear-
them down.
just wear
like the way
forearm
Moses supposedly parted the
Bro,
sea.
yeah, Batman forearm guards.
Batman forearm guards and I just
Like swinging in a crowd of them, so I can get.
throwing bows, man, and they would be done.
All right, so Antifa, fuck Antifa. Here's a funny one. I don't know if you guys know anything about this. Denver Airport sits above the NWO headquarters.
I
Look at Harry's mom. Be like, it's just true, bro.
I believe it. I believe it was at some point. I don't believe it's there
So
anymore.
is it like a fort or a base or
Well,
something?
there's like a huge underground labyrinth of bunkers underneath the airport.
Where
The
is
Denver
this?
Airport?
Directly underneath
Colorado.
Denver Airport in Colorado.
Okay, that makes sense because it's in the mountains.
Yeah, I believe that there's a.
I thought you'd like that one.
I believe there's a complete underground labyrinth of bunkers.
This is my first time hearing about it, but it does make
I
sense.
thought
It
it was
would be a
interesting.
There's a
great
lot.
place.
There's a lot
We
of
don't have a lot of
construction.
time, so I'm picking out the weird ones.
There's a
that
lot
sound
of
funny.
construction that went in that was non-visible and it was all in, all in there. And
Man in the High Castle. You got to watch that
I know,
show
yeah.
because it's like that's what it talks about, dude. Like the Rocky Mountains is the neutral zone, and that's where the resistance holds up and fights the Japanese and the Nazis.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that. That's great.
Martial law, the FEMA camps. That shit all real.
And the camps, yes.
I believe the
So
camps.
They have made camps in case martial law happens. They can put all
I
the
don't-
dead bodies.
I
in
don't
place.
know if that's what they're for.
Well, they usher. It's for it's like prison for us if martial law happens, right? We all get herded into them.
Yeah, it'd be like, all right. So if you look at, not saying like the country,
Like
right?
kind of like the scene in The Walking Dead,
Like-
like everyone leaves the hospital and all the bodies are
Or, like,
lined up outside
quarantine and
behind
all
the
that
fence.
Like Red Dawn when they had when the Asians came in, the Chinese came in, they put them in the camps like that to like contain all of us. That it'd be like that, but with our own government doing it. But yeah, I believe that its connection with because Walmart is supposed to be the main supply chain, funding or giving it to the FEMA camps, and FEMA's doing the housing and all that. So Walmart would be in charge of rations, FEMA's the housing, but they would be all quarantined, containment area. I feel like there's collaboration with that.
So to branch off this is the weirdest one I found. This segues into it. There was a gentleman by the name of Serge Monsat. And I don't remember if it said if he was a reporter or if he was like, I want to say he was like a dude in the education system or something. Supposedly, he uncovered.
Mong Hassat?
Yeah, it's MONSAT. Apparently,
It's HSA2.
he somehow uncovered some project called Project Bluebeam that our government was doing, and it theorized that the government was going to use holograms and lasers and use them in the sky to make it look like God was coming, so we can, so martial law can be invoked on us.
Yeah, so that it would stir up a riot, and then they can invoke martial law.
How crazy is that?
I read that. I didn't think it was crazy because there was like
lasers and holograms in the sky. Make
I
it
like
look God's
and
coming.
say as I don't do fences, so Aaron knows how I feel about this.
Wait, fences?
God.
I'll die outside the wire.
We're gonna bring back native ways of war.
Wait,
No,
what are you talking about
Wolverine.
fences?
Wolverine.
What are you talking about fences for? Explain this to me.
The quarantine,
Oh, the quarantine?
that whole thing.
Oh.
Because if we go to martial
James,
law,
you just see James out in a fucking
Oh.
big old like fenced-in area. It's just all grass. He's just looking at the sky. And he's like, "Come hell or high water, one of these days I'm gonna get out of these waters.
No.
I'm gonna be
I'm
ready to
a
make a
man
break
for
out of
me.
here, boss.
I'm gonna avenge the man that put me in here. I'm gonna find him one day.
It's gonna be
I'm
more
gonna find
like
him one day
I'm gonna be on the hill
in the
outside the wire,
saloon."
just
It's gonna be like
sending shots down.
Jesus.
This guy.
Yeah, I could see it more like with I could see it more with. He's like, man, this kind of fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, Kyle.
That's it. That's all I gotta say.
So weaponry. What you gotta know about the Philadelphia experiment?
Wait, were they giving all like
Supposedly,
weapons and
They
shit?
have the technology now to turn Navy ships invisible.
Okay, hold the fuck up. Let's hold up. Okay, how can that work?
I don't know.
I gotta
read
ask that question because
something about it,
the only way that it
Believe
can
it.
work is because remember, chameleons have scales that can change, right?
Yeah.
Change colors. They do that because of the light that would be reflected off of any kind of surface reflect off them. So they're basically a walking mirror. To have that, they need to find a way to reflect it off of the ship to make it invisible. But also, you gotta
Fuck
watch.
that ass.
No, this is what they're talking about. Okay, you can. It's not gonna be like you can't see this boat 10 feet away. No, it's going to be some distance, and it's probably like mirrors or something, because it's not going to be hard to blend with the ocean and the sky. And more on the ground, yes, but the ocean, no. I see this.
I'm
being
looking at like
possible.
full like invisibility, like the invisible copter, like the silent helicopter. That thing would be
I don't
dope
think
as
it'll be
shit.
like that.
No, it's
I would
not
do
gonna
that.
be
I would
like-
fucking.
I think it'll be
I
like
would buy that shit.
the British invisible blanket that they have. You know that thing?
No.
The British Special Forces have a blanket that they just cover up with them, and it picks up the image of like,
That reminds me of
around
Harry
it,
Potter.
and
So
it does that
there's the
same
next
thing.
one.
British have it.
There's another one I found, and I read a little stuff on it called the Montauk Project. Apparently,
Never heard of it.
somewhere in the United States, there's something going on called the Montauk Project. Rumors are that they're starting to figure out mind control, and
They've already learned mind control. They don't even know. They don't even.
there's new
The CIA
apparently
did that.
there's new breakthroughs in time travel.
Boy, wait,
Uh,
time travel.
Project,
Hold
Project
up.
Looking Glass time travel.
Yeah, I read that. I didn't write that.
You want to go
down.
break in and get
But
that
this-
thing, Aaron?
this-
Because I'll get. We will break
that
in and get
Looking
that.
Glass thing, I think, was a sprout off a side project of the Montauk Project. A bunch of
Hourglass
stuff
body.
fell under the Montauk Project, and those.
Well,
other
the
two
funny
things.
thing is, Project Looking Glass, the blueprints actually leaked at one point on the 4chan and 8chan site, but they're the blueprints look. Have you guys ever seen the movie Contact?
No.
No, I think it's Jodie Foster in it.
No, I
Never
heard
heard
was
of
a good
it.
Movie though.
But
Never heard of it.
The machine they used to go through a wormhole was the same exact design of what was in the blueprint.
Remember
For
that? Remember that
Project Looking
badass
Glass.
movie with Lawrence Fishburne?
Back to the Future.
Where they go to what's it? Oh fuck! I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Lawrence Fishburne. He goes into space to find the spaceship that apparently could do light speed. Right? Do you remember
Well,
that? And it goes
I'm trying to
missing.
remember.
You mean
Lawrence Fishburne
Fishburne?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence
Was he in-
Fishburne.
Let me see a picture.
Oh my god, it's such a good movie.
Yeah, right here. Oh, it's this black. It's this guy. He was in
I'm trying to figure out the movie, Kyle.
I'm looking for it right now.
The movie is the name of the ship. Anyways,
Oh, he played. He was the guy who played. What was
the
his
only
name?
movie I've ever seen with where they really tried to
Morpheus in the.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh,
Oh, don't fucking be rude to me. I'm looking this up, ass.
No. Hold on.
It's not Hannibal. Let me look at it because he only has more than 20.
I don't think I've seen him movie with him in space.
There's The Signal.
Not that ain't it.
There's the
Event
Passengers.
Horizon.
Event Horizon.
Wait,
Yeah,
I think
it's
I've
Lawrence
seen it.
Fishburne. So Lawrence Fishburne runs this crew on this dope ass ship, right? They go to find the Event Horizon, which is a ship that was the only ship
Oh, he's in Predators too.
it was a prototype. They were able to break the barrier and jump through dimensions and time travel, things of that
Yo.
nature. So they bring the scientist on the ship with them to go find
Do you
it
remember
because he's
this
the only
movie?
one that knows how to run it.
Somius
Shit, it was
Jones?
on autopilot or something.
Yeah.
Dude,
So the only movie I've ever seen where they really break it down how you theoretically can space travel like that, the dude explains it with like two pieces of paper. The movie's like
Just fold
how
it.
you fold time
Yeah.
in this, and he goes and you can jump through it as you fold it and all these things. I thought that was pretty fucking interesting.
I don't know. I
That's
think
kind
that
of what it was.
personally, 100%. And I bet everyone's like, "Oh, Kai, you say all the time." Yeah, of course, I say all the time. But time travel should immediately, if you are anywhere close to doing it, destroy it. I don't care
Yeah,
because
it can mess up everything.
because here's the deal.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
say you went back and say you stopped 9/11, okay?
Trying to fuck King Leonidas' wife. I don't know either.
If
Bet on
you
some
went back
games,
and you
man.
stopped 9/11, here's what's gonna happen. So many different outcomes. So many different. Because there's a thing called the butterfly effect.
Yes.
One thing happens,
Terrible movie
3
with
million
actually-
things happen. But if you rewrite that, you are not only destroying so many different possibilities, but you're destroying any way of them even happening. That's it. I'm saying.
Ashton would be happy right now that you brought that movie back
Word,
because I'm
that
pretty
movie's
sure
trash.
everybody forgot about that movie,
What movie was it?
Butterfly Effect.
Oh, dude.
RFID chips in people's skin.
No, I wouldn't do it at all.
If it gave me superpowers, maybe if I put a
You
chip
think
in
we
me,
already
but-
have them? Or are they in the vaccines?
Are vaccines making kids retarded?
What about nanomachines?
Nanomachines are real.
Nanomachines are scary. What about
Hey, Aaron, what about the vaccines turning kids retarded? You heard about that?
What about plastics? What about plastic having materials making kids gay?
Okay.
That I don't know, but
Sure about that?
the
There's
vaccine
plastic.
thing, that's not true.
There's material in the plastic making our fucking kids gay. This is America. We gotta take it back. Black helicopters.
We gotta make it more like Russia. They just. Oh wait, I showed you something. Russia just like
You see,
banned
Trump
the
ain't
first
bad
Pride.
guy here. Trump is not the bad guy here. It's all you left wing hooty
Motherfuckers.
crazy types with your co-ed bathrooms. I'm fucking tired of it. Fucking tired of it.
A man should not be wearing a dress.
Easy, Kyle.
A man should not be wearing skinny jeans. It doesn't make any sense.
Because you see, I was calling all this stuff years ago. Like my good friend Joe Rogan and me back in the 90s. We were calling this stuff years ago.
Me and my friend Joe were like, there gonna be a bunch of faggots running around now. Yeah, but
What?
Wow.
Easy, Kyle.
Yeah.
Calm yourself.
Easy, Kyle.
All
Okay. I don't.
God, I'm gonna get shots later. If this thing gets public, someone's gonna like come up to me and stab me. Total shank.
Anyways,
Why'd you have to get my fucking
Aaron,
full name out?
just-
Damn it.
Aaron, do you know anything about this? I wrote it down, but I forgot what I looked up. The Sutherland Spring shooting.
Sutherland spring shooting? Yeah, they didn't put it anywhere in the news at all. It was an actual shooting that happened that a armed-
Columbine? What about that?
Columbine happened a while ago.
all
Sutherland
know
spring
about
shooting
Columbine.
just happened like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. But an actual shooting was starting, and a law-abiding citizen with his concealed carry weapon stopped the shooter. But they didn't talk about that at all in the news because it was somebody that was for the guns, and then they're all been pushing away from the guns. It happened in Texas. I think it was like an hour from Austin, I think.
FDA withholding a cure for cancer.
Yes.
Oh boy, there's a
You
lot
really
to
believe
this.
Yes.
I believe in that one.
Do you really? That's the. Oh, geez, we should talk about it because James actually believes in one. Why do
Yeah,
you believe that?
some guy in Canada, he found the cure, didn't he?
I believe that there was a guy in Canada. It was Canada.
They wouldn't fund him to do further research because the FDA stepped in.
Yeah, the FDA pretty much wants to control the pharmaceutical market, is makes them a shit ton of money, and if you make there a cure for cancer, that shuts off all funding too.
It's called ashwagandha. It's
What?
right here. It says
It's got a wonder.
it's ashwagandha. It's flavonoids, the anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-tumor properties help prevent spread of cancer as well as kill cancer cells to cure lung cancer. So basically, this thing, like, it's literally talking about like cancer vaccine limits, tumors, cure for cancer.
I don't think they're gonna let him put the cure.
Well,
on
that's
being.
That's the thing. The
that's
problem.
not the only cure that they've actually come up with. Was that one? There was a guy in the '60s that developed one, and it was concentrating vibration on the cancer cells themselves at a different frequency,
Yeah.
and it was breaking the cancer cells
The
down.
frequency and like the frequency that what we were talking about when we were camping.
Yeah.
Getting in touch with the environment. Sometimes like it's told that you walking barefooted to the frequency of the earth will like somehow
We'll help. We'll make
de-stress
your
you.
stress cleanse, but
Yeah.
so the guy was studying that, something along those lines, and so he tried it on cancer cells itself. He concentrating frequencies. He tried multiple frequencies, and he ran a test on 100 cancer patients, I believe. I think it was just about 100, and over the period of a year, a couple of years, and it went on, but all of them ended up being cured of cancer because he was vibrating the cancer cell at that frequency. I don't remember what frequency it was, but that's what he was doing, and then it was covered up, and then they brought it back in the news in like the 80s. It was like 80s or 90s when they brought it back up, and then it never was in the news anymore, and there's just nothing about it going on. Like it happened, or it wasn't, I think it was the 70s, and it came back up in the 90s, and then it's still not a thing now.
I'm almost sure you can still thank old Tesla for those waves too. By the way, Tesla for those waves that he used to actually break it down.
Yeah.
Tesla, the man that had all his shit stolen from him.
He's still
Stolen from Edison. He had a buddy in the patent office.
absolutely. They're still using his shit like, and still have
Stolen
more
from
to
Edison.
come.
Oh yeah, that guaranteed.
All right, well, we spent like a good solid 2 hours talking about
We
conspiracy
spent
religions
1 hour,
and
33 minutes, and 18 seconds.
conspiracy theories and things of that nature. We got about like 20 minutes before we have to shut the sucker down. So we're going to switch gears here, and we're going to talk real briefly about The game's coming out this fall, man.
Thank God. Now I actually have something to talk about because I have
we
no
got some
idea.
video games coming out this fall, so who's hyped
Something I
for
can say that
Battlefield?
doesn't make me seem like a douchebag.
Who's hyped for Battlefield?
I'm
Eh.
hyped for the Battlefield. I hope they make it pretty cool.
Yeah,
My
I'm
first,
hyped for
I'm not.
Battlefield.
I haven't looked at it. I might take a look at it. It
Kyle's one of those
depends.
dudes. It's like I ain't fucking buying it. 'cause
I'm
there's bitches in
looking.
it.
I'm looking forward to creating my own character.
Who's mad about the genders?
Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a whole thing on the last podcast. Just to make that.
Kyle, you're
Kyle's
upset
like,
about
I
the
ain't
gender
buying
thing?
it.
No, my thing is, it has to be. If they're making a game and they're marketing it as a historical game, it needs to be historical. There were no women with prosthetic arms in the army that were
Swinging around,
snipers,
shooting people.
swinging around, shooting people. There's no such thing. It doesn't make
My
sense.
stance, like I told him, my stance is it's an online game, so I don't really.
If
give
it's
a
online,
shit.
but if it's in story,
It's corny. Like, let's all agree, it's pretty fucking corny.
oh yeah, there's a thing I read.
No
It's
one takes it
about,
seriously.
Agreed.
But do I think it's going to really devalue the game that much?
No.
No.
but like,
So does it get a yay?
I
Oh
say
yeah, I'm definitely gonna play it. Yeah.
I'm gonna give
Game.
50-50.
Kyle, I want to hear you.
I'm gonna give it.
Well, Kyle's got to get a PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I need first to. But thing is, just, I'm 50-50. Even if I was looking into it, I want I'm not
What's
with
it,
shooter
Kyle? That
games.
chick with the claw hand come on the screen and fuck your ass up. I don't know why you talking about all that shit.
Shut up. Okay, first off, I'm not into shooter games as much as I used to be. They're fun. They're cool. I'm actually looking for Cyberpunk. That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward
So
to.
speaking of Cyberpunk, did you guys watch? I know,
Dude, it looks so
Aaron
good.
and James probably don't have Cyberpunk because they're not deep down the.
They're
down
not
the
deep.
hole.
They're not deep diving
They're not
into
playing
that.
the pantheon of good games. They're still playing the fucking division. But,
What?
Um,
Don't get on the.
I knew it was coming.
yo, the Cyberpunk,
Yo,
they out of nowhere dropped an hour-long gameplay footage of that game.
that game looks really
They're
good.
like, this isn't the finished product. I'm like, it fucking looks amazing already to me.
I really want to get a system. I want to build a computer system. and play
Cyberpunk
Star
2077. That's what it's called.
Go home and watch the hour-long video game.
It's such a good
It's,
It looks so good.
it's one of my favorite video game companies. CD Projekt Red. They made the Witcher games.
Mm-hmm.
The Witcher 3 is my favorite
Fucking
game of all time.
great
They made a
stories.
futuristic game. So this game takes place. It was a tabletop game, like Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
but like the space version. So they brought in the dude that made that game to help them make this game, and brought Night City to life. So essentially, Night City is this massive city, and it's got a government, right? But on top of that, it's ruled. Almost everything is ruled and influenced by these mega corporations. So there's like 5 different corporations that have a lot of fucking money in the game, and they have all kinds of different
Cyberpunk.
agents and spy networks and all
to
those other
YouTube?
things, and they're all at
Cyberpunk
war with each other and trying to make
2077.
money and try to destroy each other and things, right?
Yeah.
And it takes place in this joint called Night City. So they made this massive map. This is the first map ever that's ever been made, right? In my opinion, where
Mhm.
not only is it going to be it's going to be horizontally wide and vast and diverse,
But also vertical.
it's vertical. Like it's going.
There's different levels to it.
There's it's like remember the scenes in Fifth Element where
Yeah.
he's whipping around in the street.
Oh yeah.
It's got areas like that where like you might wander into a building and there you might have to do a hit to someone that's upstairs, 60 floors.
That does look pretty.
Go home and watch it, dude. It's not online though. It's a first-person role-playing game, but it's got guns and melee.
Yeah.
It's story. It's got choice dialogue. You create your own character, dude. It's gonna be amazing. And they show you an hour of gameplay footage, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, this game ain't even gonna come out for another year or so." And this is what we got, dude. It looks amazing. I can't wait. I hope.
Have you
I'm hoping
joined
I'm
Star
retired,
Citizen?
Okay,
I haven't
first
played
off,
Star Citizen yet.
okay,
I know
first
you
off,
like
I
it.
have the
think
game.
you're good for
I kind of forgot my password. I gotta get that, but I could not even run it. I had like
I can
Yeah,
run
you
that
need
one.
to have like a gaming PC.
Right.
I have a gaming PC.
How strong is your gaming PC?
I have
still
like
needs
8
to get
gigs of RAM. I have a
Civilization
AMD
Yeah.
X2700, and I have the problem is I need to upgrade my motherboard, which is probably gonna cost you like $200, which is like it's like
Oh,
and then I have I don't know, I gotta upgrade, but still.
So, homework after tonight's podcast, you guys got to go actually watch the hour. Just type in Cyberpunk demo. Dude, it's an hour long. It'll blow your mind.
It'll blow your... Actually, here's a
I'll
little
look
thing
into it.
too.
I'll look into it.
Dude, you have to. It's not an online game, but Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
That's coming out.
Division 2.
The Division 2. You guys are stoked for the Division 2.
Dude,
I won't be playing it.
It's 20% larger than it was on the first one. And instead of it
with
being
20% more space to do absolutely nothing.
and there's actually more buildings you can incorporate yourself with. It's not like giant skyscrapers you can't go in.
So that was one thing I fucking couldn't stand in the first division was there was all that open space, but you couldn't do jack shit.
Listen, the game.
There was like 6 buildings you can go and do.
The game is about teamwork. Like, it's not even fun if you play it alone, really. So it never gets old to me because you can constantly grow and get better and start.
I
Improve
personally,
yourself.
Yeah.
2 tables down.
I don't know. When I played the Division before it, like when it first came out, I'm not gonna lie, it was total fucking
Do
garbage.
you guys get super dramatic when you go down to the Dark Zone? Like, medic! Medic!
Yeah, we scream a
I got
little
you, bro. I got you, bro. I'm on your 6.
But yeah, that's we actually kind of do talk like that.
Yeah.
Frag out.
You nailed it.
What's your ETA? Give me 6.
But the
guy
new
to your
one,
left, guy to your left.
It's based in Washington D.C. and it's big open. You can actually go into the houses in the neighborhoods. You can go into a lot more buildings than you can in the first one. That's
You
one
can
thing they
squad
fixed.
up and
So here's what I'm going to do. Because I love you guys, and you guys have become 2 of my closest friends. Since I have the glories of GameFly, if I have nothing else to play, which there's a good chance I will because every other game is more important, if I have a slot free, I will rent it on GameFly, and I will try it out and play with you guys for a little bit.
Nice.
That's what I'll do when it comes out. When does it come out?
Did it come out with a release date yet?
I'm not sure, but
So you guys can't say I didn't give it a chance when I tear it apart.
the thing is, you got to actually give it a chance, though.
I
Because
did.
you got to build up
Yo,
a
I
little
played
bit
the
before
level.
you.
I played the
So
level
they
32
actually
the
changed
first
things
game.
now, where you can't. They
Level
changed.
32 I played to the first game. That's not bad.
Oh my!
I ran around playing for a while in the Dark Zone.
I think
Okay,
personally,
level
the Dark
32
Zone's a
in the
great
Dark Zone.
concept. It was just
Okay, yeah, yeah.
executed
No, but I'm
poorly.
saying, like, yeah, I got to, like, level 32 in the Dark Zone, and we're running around, and we're doing the missions. We're, like, you got to skeet people shit and, like, run the supplies up the
Skeet,
supply
skeet,
line
skirt,
to the
skirt.
chopper and defend the spot. Like,
Yeah.
I played that game with, like, my 3 buddies for a long-ass time. I just...
Yo, did you
I
know
was
like
only playing
all the
it because
legendaries?
It was all right to play when you're with your friends, but like I just obviously you guys know my opinion. I didn't think it was that good, but I will if I have a spot left on GameFly. I will
Yo.
play with you guys. When does it come out?
The Division, like the legendaries, did not drop. It was like a .005 chance.
You know, I'm just gonna roll into the
It was
Division 2,
low,
outplay
like
all
to
you
find
guys,
even
and then I'm
legendaries.
gonna
You had to
leave.
like buy them
You
through
wish
like
you had me
Phoenix
back.
credits. I
What,
think.
legendary? You talking about the gold weapons?
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm talking the beginning, not now. I'm
Oh.
talking the beginning, like very first
Dude,
week.
I played. Well, it took a while to build up to get to the gold stuff. You had to
Yeah,
go and play the missions at certain levels and do certain.
I've
tasks
done that.
already.
I've grinded that game out when it first
Right.
came out. I did that, but like they didn't drop at all, and I tested it.
All right, Tom Clancy's The Division 2 will launch on March 15th, 2019.
Oh, we got a ways.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all the good shit's gonna come out before that.
It comes
most
out in
likely.
October. Everything pretty much comes out in
So
October.
yeah, I'll probably rent it and play with you guys.
Are you going to also rent Crackdown 3?
Oh no, Crackdown 3. Those games aren't good.
Well, listen, I
I'm
played
only
the
gonna
first
play-
one for a little bit.
I'm only gonna play the Division with you guys because you guys love it and you want me to play with you. I'm only gonna play it because of that.
Crackdown 3 was a joke because the game is a joke after a while, but
Dude,
it's kind of catchy at first.
I played the Crackdown games, wasn't into them, didn't think they were that fun.
I never played them.
Assassin's
couldn't-
Creed Odyssey.
You couldn't power up
Assassin's
like
Creed
me.
Odyssey, I
son.
can't wait for.
Real quick, we only got like 10 minutes, but I want to say something about Assassin's Creed. So I only like they made a shit ton of Assassin's Creeds, right?
Yes.
There's only 2 of them that I really liked or loved, and then there was one of them that I liked because I liked the time period, right? So Assassin's Creed 2 is awesome.
Yeah.
I love the Black Flag. It was
Yeah.
fucking awesome, right? Love those 2 Assassin's Creed games.
Oh god,
Then
fucking
the
pirates
Revolutionary
driving the
War
ship
one,
everywhere with the
I liked
songs.
it because you got to run around and kill the redcoats and shit,
Yeah.
and that kept me entertained for a little bit.
That was Assassin's Creed 3.
3, it was, but I had fun
I liked
playing
the
it
history
because of
on
the
it.
time period, the clothes,
Yeah.
and the redcoats and shit, right?
I personally
Okay,
think the
hold
second
on.
one was kind of the best one.
I was honestly, I read What Out of the Lib, and I read Assassin's Creed's Origins, right? Because I
Yeah.
had nothing else to play. I gameflied it. And Sensor goes, really? My brother, because he knows how I am about games. He knows how much of a critic I am. He knows I'm not big on Assassin's Creed games. Spencer's like, you play Assassin's Creed? I go, yeah. He goes, well, let me know how it is, right? So I played because I heard good things about it. Dude, I was blown away by Assassin's Creed Origins, dude.
Origins was amazing.
It was, let me tell you something. That was like the biggest map I've ever played in a game. It felt like it. Okay, it might not have been the biggest map from like actual size.
Yeah.
But the amount of content in the map and how beautiful and how well done things were.
The artwork was
made
phenomenal.
it feel like it was 10 times bigger than it really was. Yeah. I had so much fun. I love the character. I thought he was compelling.
Yep.
I thought his hot wife was compelling. All the bullshit, the side missions. You know what the coolest part of the whole entire game was? How dope was it when you got introduced to those phalake guys or phalates?
Oh, the falling sinks, the assassins?
The dudes that are the assassins that free roam the map.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because their whole job in the game was to just randomly free roam the map, and if they find you, their job is to just their sole purpose is to hunt you down and kill you, right? So you'll be just doing a mission, and all of a sudden you hear like this creepy horn.
Yeah.
It's like, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? And it'll say the phalates are in your area or whatever. So you'll get someplace high so they can't see
Everything
you, right?
was good until the Fire
Nation
Nation attacked.
Dope ass bad guy with all this armor and shit with his crew just coming down the road, and they're looking for you. And they're easy to avoid if you're cognizant you want to avoid them.
I hunted them down.
But yeah, dude, I started hunting them down. Once I got like a high enough level, I started hunting them down one by one. I'm like, oh, you want to fucking hunt me, motherfucker? Yo,
I knocked out
that game was awesome.
I'm knocked out the first lowest one. I think it was like what, level 26 or something like that.
I waited to the end, and then I went on a rampage when I knew I could beat them all.
I was a low level when I took out the first one. I stayed up high the whole time, and I hit him with my flaming arrow at a long range. I just kept doing it.
Hey. So another thing I want to say about Assassin's Creed was I don't know how historically accurate history actually is as a whole at depicting or thinking up what we think areas of time looked like. But if that's really what ancient Egypt looked like, is that not like one of the most beautiful things ever?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
If that's what ancient Egypt really looked like back in the day, if that's the closest thing Yo, ancient Egypt on that game looks so fucking gorgeous. Now, I know it was a dirty place as far as, like, they dumped their fucking shit in the water and all that stuff. But, like...
They, like, they were self-sacrifice.
Those cities... What's that? Oh, what was the one city that's, like...
Cairo?
Up by the seas, where it's the big harbor.
The peninsula?
It's got, like, all the little estuaries you could ride your boats through into the city.
That was,
There's multiple places
Alexandria.
like that. Was it Alexandria? No, this one I'm talking about was the one at the bottom of the map to the left, and it had a lot of jungle foliage. Port, right? Yeah, it was. Oh, dude. Anyways,
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Anyways, that map was one of the best maps in a video game I ever played. That game was. I love that game. I was impressed, and you want to know what? Because of that, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay, let me say this. Okay, remember that video game we talked about, Evan? That we made fun of. It was a guy that was a biker. He killed zombies.
Oh, that's coming out.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'm not buying it. That's just
Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone.
I was interested in that.
First off, the people who made that game made Bubsy 3D.
So doesn't mean they can't come out with a good game.
No, that's kind of permanent.
They made Bubsy 3D. The game looks good, but I don't know if it's going to be like.
They will fuck it up somehow.
No.
Last of Us might be the greatest game of all time.
Last of Us looks they actually look really good. I mean, if that's like just from the engine itself, it still looks pretty good.
Oh, real quick, we got a couple minutes.
What do you guys think about Anthem?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Destiny,
pretty interesting.
EA.
Okay, so my only caveat to Anthem is Anthem looks fucking impressive, right?
It does.
I think we all agree on that.
That didn't happen.
But
grab that.
Anthem looks impressive, but BioWare fucked up the last Mass Effect game so bad.
But then again, like you just said, just because the company doesn't make a good game,
it looks impressive for me right now. It's a rent for me.
Yeah.
I'll rent
it's
it.
a renty.
I'm spending $60 on it because the game's so ambitious.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know if it's gonna end up being what they.
I don't see how
it would probably be my opinion of I would like you said rent, but then I'd be like, well, I'm just gonna play it, see how it is, and I'm gonna refund it.
Plus, I don't like playing with mechs, so I'm not that interested in it.
You don't like playing.
You don't like playing mech? Oh yeah, we went over this.
I've never liked mech.
I've never found a good mech game to play.
The only time I enjoyed playing as a mech was when I played the Metal Gear Solid games, and in the third one, you get to run around.
I like playing the ones with the Sonic games.
Right, but still, like, I'd never enjoyed mech shit. I don't like it. That's why I couldn't get into What's the game that's actually not a bad
Titanfall?
game? Those Titanfall games?
Oh, come on,
They're not
dude.
that bad of a game, but I'm just not into
The
that.
games are
I didn't want to
fun.
play those because I like the mech style of what Anthem has. I don't like the big giant ones.
We'll see. I'll probably
Like-
play it.
Personally, 100%. Well, you're saying yes, it's cool.
Oh yeah. We'll do this last one. Metro Exodus. That actually is a game that I'm going to play, but I'm going to rent it.
Sure.
That game looks great because if you
Yeah.
read the books
Okay.
are really
So
good.
we talked about this. Metro is one of the only game producers
Exodia.
where they 100%, those guys whoever makes the Metro Exodus or the Metro games, what you see in a trailer is what you get. They do a great job making a video game. I played those other ones.
100% fucking awesome.
Yeah, those games are awesome, and they don't bullshit you. They'll show a trailer of
Mhm.
gameplay.
Yep.
What exactly is in the
Beep, beep,
trailer is
EA,
exactly what you're
alert.
getting. Those games run smooth. They're dark. They're creepy. They're fun games. I played the other installments.
Agreed. I would rent it, but I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna rent it because
I'm gonna
it's
buy
one
it.
of those games where you're probably gonna beat it once, then you're not gonna have to play it again.
Does it have an online gameplay?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
probably.
I
See,
personally
that's
don't
why I
like.
like Star Citizen because it's online gameplay. And you can
Well,
have.
So
Can you-
yeah,
Have you played Star
So-
Citizen?
No, I've been on there and flown around a little bit, but I
I never seen you.
don't have a fast enough PC.
so
That's yeah, but I mean that's kind of the thing though. I could see a huge, vast world of it, but I don't know how the grind and everything could work for it. There's a
So,
lot of different
we're a
variables.
little short on time here. We're gonna have to bring this thing to a close, but
Yeah,
what I think is we're definitely gonna have to do a to be continued, and we'll have to come back and talk more about some game stuff. 'Cause we don't have a lot of time to talk about.
yeah,
game
it wasn't
stuff.
enough funny
I'm sure
jokes
we'll have-
from me.
I'm sure we'll have James and Aaron back on. James is probably going to come on soon and do some football stuff for me, right, James?
Yeah.
We're gonna start next time we me, Hawkeye and James. We're gonna start breaking down the NFC. Football's only a week and a half away. Fantasy football's coming up. We're gonna do the previews. We're gonna talk
I
about
won't
that
be there
weekly,
for that,
by the way.
unfortunately.
We're
I'm
gonna,
so excited about fantasy
Yeah, this
football.
is-
I've changed my lineup like 4
this
times.
is James' first time playing fantasy football.
Because I read the news, the actual little newsletters that comes by the names, and I try to do this prediction in my head, like, okay, we're gonna play good. He's catching the ball good, so he's gonna play good against Dallas or whatnot.
But you gotta remember, it's about matchups. Who are they going up against? What DBs are on your
Yeah,
receivers?
true that. I
Gotta pay attention to all of it.
Hashtag I don't know what's going on
Listen,
here.
dude, you gotta be in the players' windows watching what they eat for breakfast, bro.
I don't
Yeah.
watch sports anymore.
Yeah,
I don't give a
Aaron.
shit
High
about sports
five, you're in the
anymore.
same boat. Woo!
I used to watch sports all the time.
You
I used to
there,
watch it,
slave
but then I
girl.
just got to the point where I'm done.
Fetch me some wine.
Fetch me some more wine.
All right, so before we go, Kyle,
Yeah.
hit your plug.
All right. For everybody, I'm not 100% racist. I don't hate everybody. I do believe human life is not 100% good, but it's not my situation. But plug-in is my YouTube channel, UE6 Supernova. There's some shit going on. I'm planning on getting everything together. It's just kind of a pain in the ass because now I'm back in school with these guys, and I kind of just don't want. I just want to focus more on school than games.
Twitter, anything you got.
And or that's all I'm gonna give out because everybody's probably gonna hate me for what I've said. And to all those who think that, I'm a total ass.
Kyle, the internet
Right.
loves you.
Hmm?
The internet loves you. All right, James, what are your plug? Your closing thoughts? Your plug, real quick.
Y'all know I'm a country boy, so I don't have none of that Twitter or YouTube or none of that, but I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
And so to be such a good sport for us bashing him, I'm sorry. We didn't bash him
Aaron,
enough.
plug your
But
stuff. This support you, Aaron. You got a YouTube channel now.
I got a YouTube channel. I just started
And
it.
you
I've
stream.
only really done like one video.
You stream
I
too.
stream video games
Twitch.
an awful lot. I don't go on Twitch. I just go on YouTube. It's Express223. But yeah, I do video games. I only did Division a couple times. Most of it's Battlefield 5,
Tell them what
Assassin's Creed.
tell them what you do, what your channel's meant for.
Oh well, so Express. The name of the channel is your Express. You want to express your your human rights.
wait, why does he get to explain his channel and I don't?
Oh my
I thought
God.
you
I'm just
did.
kidding.
All right,
I'm
no.
just
The 223 isn't just meant for the caliber, but it's also meant for the 22 veterans a day that are lost for suicide.
3%ers.
And then the threes, the three percenters. I was part of the 3% chapter here in New York. I recently
3%
left.
are garbage.
Yeah,
They booted them out.
I still value their ways and
It's
their
like,
the
no,
way
I
they do it. And I've been a 3%er since 2008 or no 2009. So I was part of the ones in the West, so I come out here now, and I tried joining the one here, but it was garbage.
What?
So, but anyway, that's what my channel's about. I started doing gear reviews. I did one gear review video. The audio wasn't too good, but anyway,
I don't know, man. That gear was pretty good.
We do some camping trips. We started recording those.
Dude, do some camping vlogs. I hear you go camping. You should do some camping vlogs.
I mean,
go off the
me
grid,
and
dude.
James have gone twice already. We're going again this October.
Out here.
Yeah, dude. Just take camera with you. Put a GoPro on your head.
Oh, I did that one GoPro video. It was a short one, but I did it.
And yeah, you guys know what it is. Your host, it's me, Eduardo the God. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, and on PS4 at The Big Piece. That's capital THA, capital BIG, capital PIECE. I'm usually streaming, even though school started. It's going to be hit and miss here and there, but we're going to keep pumping out these podcasts and putting them for all y'all on YouTube. So you could also type in on YouTube just my name, Evan, EVAN, last name VEGA, Vega, and that's pretty much it. And we're out, guys. Say peace.
Peace, everybody,
Peace
and have
out.
a great night.
See you.
Later.